Okay, good. Hello, everyone! Thank you for being out here and waiting in the rain because a little bit of weather is not going to stop us, am I right? I am Rachel Larry Carmona, Executive Director of Women's March.
And I am Tamika Middleton, the Managing Director of Women's March, and we are so very excited to be here with all of y'all today.
It is 2025, but in 2017, millions of people showed up to march. And it was something we had never seen before, with all of these people who had never protested before coming to make a stand together just like today.
So back in 2017, we made history. And today we are here to make our future. That's right! Today we have a choice to accept a future that is forced on us or to fight for the future that we want.
And a future that is what? Compassionate, joy-filled, just, democratic, a future that is free. A future in which we all have the freedom to live our lives. And it's a what? A feminist future. Can I get a shout out?
Listen, we know it has been a lot these past 8 years, right? Now think about it. We've had Donald Trump. We've had wildfires, floods, wars, inflation, recession, pandemic, the gutting of Roe, Donald Trump, shootings, deportations, police brutality, Charlottesville, Donald Trump. And all of those things have been covered with the fingerprint of the billionaires who want to own our government. I'm not going to hold you. In a democracy, there is no greater threat. But here's the thing. Today isn't about any of them. Today is about us.
And folks keep asking, what is this march? What are we marching for? Who is this march for? And that's it. At the People's March, we are calling out the people who use power to strip our freedoms. We are calling in, we the people, and we are calling on all of us to fight. Are you all ready to fight? It might be kind of cold. I didn't really hear you. Like, are you all ready to fight? But first, let's square up with reality because, honest to God, it's the first and the bravest thing that we can do in this moment. Before we do anything about our democracy, we have to fight our own despair, don't we? How many people have felt doubt? How many people have felt despondency? But how many people feel different now that we're all together here today? Because, my friends, I have seen personally in March after March what can be done when we harness our defiance. Are we defiant today?
We have marched more than 20 times and mobilized tens of millions of people since 2017. And you know what? At every one of those marches, most of the marchers were brand new to the movement. And afterwards, they went home to organize in their communities. So we'll talk about some of them for a second. We want to talk about a group in Enid, Oklahoma. At Women's March, we call them our Oklahoma girls.
Enid is a conservative town you might not know. It's a little bit north, I believe north of Oklahoma City, which is just a few hours from where I live in Amarillo. And the voters there elected a white nationalist to the city council. And this was one of the J. Crew white supremacists who carried a tiki torch in Charlottesville. I mean, the cringe kind. Exactly. Wait, did you say about Charlottesville? I'm not sure. What did you say about white supremacists? And just like y'all, the Oakland girlies were not having it. So they helped get the signatures they needed to recall him. They told their neighbors the truth about him. And their work led to his ouster from the city council in the red city, in a red state. And if we can win there, we can win anywhere. Can I hear
here and get into it. Vote them out. So you're here today, and shout out to you for that. But what about tomorrow? Before you leave here, I want you to start thinking about where we're headed. On Thursday, January 23rd, join Women's March on a Mass Call, where we will talk about all the ways you can get involved with the partner organizations that are out here today. And you can join one of the many organizations partnered with the People's March. You can find them at peoplesmarch.com. You can also text POWER to 44310 to get the People's Toolkit and get connected to good work that you care about. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, please get connected. Join something.
No, I'm not getting good signal on my phone. A friend of mine said that it's better to struggle with friends than to face fascism alone. And we all have that choice to make right now. The choice is between a future gripped by fascism or a future rooted in feminism. And I think for most people here, and to be honest, for most people in the country, the choice is clear. So say it with me. The people in the front already know. Feminists over fascists! Feminists over fascists! Feminists over fascists! Feminists over fascists! In 2017, we made history. In 2025, we're making our future. Get in where you fit in, and let's get to work.
Now, we'd like to introduce our MCs for today, the incomparable Tiffany Flowers and Khalil Cole.
Hello, marchers. Hello. Welcome to DC and welcome to the People's March. My name is Tiffany Flowers. I'm the director of the Frontline and the proud chairwoman of the Women's March, and I couldn't be happier to be here with you today.
Hey, beloveds, my name is Khalil Cole, and I'm the national co-director of the Rising Majority, a Black-led, multiracial, anti-racist, and anti-capitalist coalition fighting together. And we are so excited to host y'all today.
Yes, the weather is holding up, the crowd is growing in behind us, and we have a really exciting lineup of speakers for you today. We promise to keep the program moving. We promise to keep our energy high. If you promise to be the best crowd that you can be. Can we do that? So excited. Right now, we actually have our first speaker coming to the stage. Miss Denise Duncan is a real treat for you all. Like I said, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it rolling. So please, for our very first speaker, give your very, 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 very warmest welcome to Denise.
Yule Lintam Elikan, Delawense Denise Sapalee, Mamitakemu. My name is Denise Bright Dove. I am a citizen and councilwoman of the Nanticoke Lenai Lenape Nation of Bridgeton, New Jersey, Turtle Clan. When I describe and envision my ancestral homelands without colonial borders, I say that I'm from the southernmost tidewaters of Lenapehoking, the land of the Lenape. And that land expands throughout most of Delaware, parts of Pennsylvania and Maryland, and all of New Jersey and into New York. We are gathered today within the ancestral homelands of my relatives, the Piscataway people. I am humbled to be here to speak, and I acknowledge the responsibility of kinship. I want to thank the Piscataway Nation for their unwavering stewardship of this territory and I ask you all to do the same. Indigenous peoples have occupied, governed, traded, thrived, and endured within our original territory since time immemorial. It is our inherent sovereign right to continue to do so.
Hey, Black women. All right. So I wanted to give y'all a taste of the Women's March minus the Black women that I'm so proud of that didn't show up a day ago, which I think this was yesterday, Saturday, right? And that was a good thing. This march, this video of this march is like about 2 hours long, almost, right? There's a lot of people talking about different things that literally affect them. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. If you want to watch it, you know it's on YouTube, right? I would say check it out, but for me, it didn't hit the way it was supposed to hit because there was no specific talking about things that this next administration is going to do to try to make women's lives miserable as fuck. One of the main things I wanted to, I'm gonna just try to talk fast to get through this. Some of the main things I wanted to show y'all is like how 2025 is going to be a year of really coming down hard on women. And because Black women are literally on the bottom when it comes to economics and the way people see us versus our humanity, we need to take shit very seriously. So I want to go through a series of showing y'all some stuff where you can get further information and also to like widen your perspectives or perception on things that's happening in this world where it concerns us and us alone. Because as you can see from this sea of people here, when the camera spanned out, and I'm glad no Black women were really there except for the organizers, these are all the people who stood against a Indian Black woman who literally was running for office to listen to everyone's concerns and to try to make this country as close to being as affordably livable as China, Japan, Korea, and every other country besides European countries that are similar to, you're welcome, I am her, similar to America, right? So if you want to see this, I mean, it's not really much to look at, but it'll give you an idea of where people's heads are at. View it. I watched it. I didn't get much from it, but I expected that, okay? So if, in fact, you ever want to find out where these people are meeting up next and you actually want to partake in anything they're doing, I suggest do it. Because within these next 4 years, things are going to be really hard for us, okay? If you reflect or you just start now, go on to project2025.org and literally read that manifesto. That manifesto literally shows you what these racist, rich white people have in mind for us. And let me just be blatantly clear. The bottom line is, Black women, they need you and the children you have as a commodity. So what they intend to do, in short, okay, is to make life extremely hard for us. Take away our jobs, make the money we make not be enough to make ends meet. And they figure that by doing this to us, they're going to push us into situations of convenience with males. Because Black men, as Black males, as we know, are not men. They are not working. They're not educated. They don't have the mental capacity or the broadband to deal with women as human beings. With them, everything concerning them is a matter of somebody disrespecting them or them wanting to be in a position where they have the ultimate control over the situation because they have no power in society and in the real world. So they want to inflict all type of tyranny, terror, and violence within their homes to feel empowered. And this is exactly why all these dudes talk about the nuclear family, putting dysfunctional males back into the homes, because women are stepping outside of these confined roles they have created for us that takes away our natural power, our ability to be free and to live our lives without being tethered or tied to a guy if we don't want to be, and not to be parents if we choose not to be, and to actually just live our lives being any way we want. And I want to add on to the fact that them black males and dudes in general, but especially black males, always talking about black women being promiscuous and she's giving her body to everybody, sleeping around. This is an ultimate form of control and manipulation. The ability to try to shame women, which is what this nation is going to begin to do, right, is to try to shame us back into our place. They're going to talk about our morality. We don't have enough religion. We are not good Bible readers or Christians and all that other shit and whatever else you believe in. All of those things are ways to manipulate and control women, to make women believe that your only purpose in this world is to be some man's actual servant, right? Some women too, yeah. But right now I'm talking about men, because if it wasn't for the patriarchy and men creating these systems, right, and enforcing them and continuing them, you would not have women who teach little girls this shit to teach their girls, right? So this is about men. And when women understand that, yeah, you got two types of women. You have the women that are not going for the bullshit, and you have the women that are always going to comply because they're weak as fuck and they're insecure and they need some dude to validate them. So when you come across them, you just basically do the same thing you should do with those dudes. Ignore the fuck out of them, okay? Go about your business. And if you can convince another woman that what these overly male-identified women are talking about and their actual real submission to men, where they feel inferior to men and feel like men are supposed to be above them and they're supposed to be like a pet or a dog doing what a dude tells them and not standing up for themselves or their daughters, if that's how they live, if you have the ear of somebody else who has girls or who's affiliated with other women and girls, you try to make it your business to explain to her that women benefit more by not complying with patriarchy, not complying with gender roles, not complying with the shit they teach us through religion, the indoctrination of us having to always be somebody's woman and somebody's mama. That's not who we are supposed to be in this world. We're supposed to be free individuals to live our lives any way we choose, with the most important thing, right? The equal rights of any male that walks around. Because let us not forget that these guys and these other women only come into this world through the exit out of a woman's vagina. None of them come here through their father's behind holes or penises. So women, understand your importance and understand that you are never inferior to another person who has to come through literally your body to come into this world. Understand that. All right. So, and you're absolutely right. I am her. Women are ultimately allowed, and they are literally right now allowed to define themselves, whatever that wants to be. Their right to do what they want to do with themselves ends at the tip of another person's nose. What they want to do with themselves does not concern and most definitely should never harm another person. Because what you do, what you want to do with you is you and you alone. And this is the thing right now, that is a real issue with these dudes, because I don't know if y'all have been watching like all of the madness that is going on TikTok. By the way, y'all, for those of you that don't know, TikTok is back. Now, how it's back and what's going on with it, I don't know, but it's back. So, but last night, before they cut it off, and all the weeks before, there was this bombardment, right? Because of the fact that Trump has been elected, people are aware of the fact that this dude is a misogynist. He is a woman hater. He has been found guilty of rape, found guilty of groping, found guilty of different crimes. All right, this dude is, and he's been associated with people who we know were on that island and etc. So he has a lot of issues, and he is literally the epitome of what a disgusting fucking dude is. We all know this, right? So when you have these Black males, and I'm only speaking about the concerns and the conditions of living for Black women, because that is what I am, right? When you have these ignorant, underachieving, overwhelmed Black males in society who do not have any authority or power because they have given up on themselves, not went to school, do not own anything, do not take anything serious in life. They're comfortable nesting in servitude situations. They don't do anything in the community to uplift the community. And all they're ever thinking about is being sexually capricious, where on their mind all day is fucking, drugging, drinking, and being and having fun. That is not an adult. It's not. And all of this talk about marriage and commitment and relationships and cohabitating with each other is a safe haven for them to secure a roof over their head with a woman taking care of them, and for them to have people that they could lord over and do terrible things. I don't know if you guys saw a video I put up the other day of an article about abusive dudes. I'm going to try to find it right now, because I really want you guys to see this, see the reasons they give to abuse women, and how it makes them feel like a so-called man, because they have identified being a man with being someone who inflicts pain, does not care about who they hurt, but they have to be the one controlling the situation, and only they should have any benefit in the process completely. Abuse of women. Let me get it. Because some of the things in this article is insane. Like, it was completely insane. Is this, let me see, is this him? No. Okay, let me do it another way, y'all. If not, let me get my phone and look at the article real quick. Give me 1 minute, y'all. I want y'all to be able to read some of the reasons, if not all of them, right? So that you could literally see how these people think and why they do the things they do, and just how insidious they are because of the reasons they came up with. All right, I got it now. It's called Abusive Men Describe the Benefits of Violence. I couldn't remember, but now I have it. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to get it. We'll put it up. We'll look at it, right? So. And mind you, this was an article that came out in 2015. Since then, there have been more articles, but none of them hit the way this one does, with exactly what these dudes get from it, without some man who has written this article after this one trying to make it appear as if the guys have some type of justification for being as ignorant as they are. I'm very serious. And it's sad that people are like this. It is extremely sad. So let me share this tab with y'all. So this is the article here. Abusive men describe the benefits of violence, right? And I want y'all to see. And I love this little cartoon image right here where he's literally lording over them. Literally. And this is by a man called Chuck Deary. And you could also, if you wanted to, reach out to Mr. Deary. He's open to people talking to him about this article and him further speaking about what he learned from the prison when he worked there and dealing with men who battered women and children and had to attend these anger management programs. Y'all, a lot of y'all are familiar with this. So, but this is a list of the benefits, and this is what dudes feel are benefits. I'm going to go through them because I think they need to be put to voice, okay? So the men said, she's scared and won't go out and spend money. You get your way, you get to go out, you get respect. She won't argue. And mind you, they are saying that when they beat the shit out of women and children, this is the benefit of it. She won't argue. You get to feel superior. She's accountable to you in terms of being somewhere on time. I decide. Keeps relationship going. She's too scared to leave. Get the money, get sex, get control, take total control in decision making, use money for drugs, don't have to change for her. You have power. Decide where to go as a couple, who to see, what to wear. You get to control the children. If she's late, she won't be late again, meaning he's going to beat her ass for being late. You get to intimidation. She's scared and can't confront you. You can convince her she's screwed up. She feels less worthy, so defers to my needs and wants. She'll look up to me and accept my decisions without an argument. Decide her social life, what she wears, so she could keep your image by how she acts. Now, I want to go over that for a minute, okay? We hear this every day on social media. Their benefit to beating and intimidating women is they get to decide her social life, what she wears, so she can keep your image by how she acts. This right here should scream out to y'all that bullshit narrative of Black women being promiscuous. She's always dressing like she's half naked. Her clothes are too tight. Wigs, weave, and makeup. She's not being subservient or submissive to her man. She's not being a good wife, a good girlfriend. She's not letting the Black male lead. This is all this ignorant shit that is in this one small little phrase right here, right? That should have popped out to everybody when you heard this. This is complete manipulation, total control, and the making of trying to make a woman the victim of being Stockholmed. Stockholm, y'all know what that is, right? It's a psychological mental state where the victim begins to overly identify with her abuser and does not see the violence or the destruction or the harm the offender is causing to them. They literally convince themselves, brainwash themselves to love their offender. All that shit is literally in that one little phrase right there, because it speaks to them trying to control your person, to control your whole being. They want to control how you look, what you wear, what you think, what you do, where you go, when you do it, and how you do it. Basically, you are literally a slave. You have no right to make any decision on your own, and if you do, it's going to be met with violence and consequence. And we'll continue. I just want y'all to understand that, or really absorb that shit, because that's a fucking problem. That is a serious fucking problem. She's to blame for the battering. So did you see how right after they said that one phrase that pretty much sums up everything else they say after and before, they give you the consequence. If she doesn't do all that shit that I tell her, I'm going to tell her, look what you made me do. This is the reason why I got to beat your ass, because you're fighting against being controlled. You're still trying to have independence when I'm trying to beat the fucking independence and the individuality out of you. She's to blame for the battering. She's an object. They never see us as human beings, only walking vaginas, right? She's an object. I get a robot babysitter, a maid, a sex worker, and food. I get an ego booster. She tells me I'm great. I get bragging rights. If she works, I get her money. I get her to quit a job so she can take care of the house. I isolate her so her friends can't confront me. And I'm going to add on to that so that people cannot either send this motherfucker to their maker or have him locked up the way he should be, or pack that lady and those children's things up and get them out of that environment. That's that. Decide how money is spent. I'm the breadwinner. So now they feel like they're somebody because they're nobody in society. So when they commit all of this horrible, hostile, dysfunctional violence in their home, they think they're somebody, right? I'm the breadwinner. I buy the toys I want. Take time for myself. She has to depend on me if I break her stuff. I get to know everything. She's a nursemaid. Remember how the women were talking about don't be a hospice wife? Here we go. She's a nursemaid. She comforts me. So even if she doesn't want to coddle this motherfucker and baby and mommy him the way his mama did when he was a child, he's forcing her to do that shit with a grown man. He gets supper on the table. He gets to invite friends over with or without her knowing. More work for her. No compromise equals more freedom for him. Don't have to listen to her complaints for not letting her know stuff. She works for me. I don't have to help out. I don't have to hang out with her. I don't have to hang out with her or the kids. I determine what values the kids have, who they play with, what school they go to, or getting to ignore the process. Dictating what they need, clothes, food, recreation, etc. I'm going to read that one again because I messed up on it. Determine what values kids have, who they play with, what school they go to, or getting to ignore the process. Dictating what they need, food, clothes, recreation, etc. So he's going to dictate when they need shoes, whether their shoes got a hole in the bottom or not. If they need a new coat, if their coat don't fit, it's not keeping them warm, he'll make that decision. They just got to handle it. That's the ignoring the process, right? Dictate reality, etc. You know how they like to gaslight. Kids on my side against her. Kids do what I say. Mold her so that they help do what I say and what I should. Keep kids quiet about abuse. Don't have to get up, take out garbage, watch kids, do dishes, get up at night with kids, do laundry, change diapers, clean the house, bring kids to appointments or activities, mop floors, clean the refrigerator, etc. So you understand what I was saying about having an indentured servant? So he has to do nothing but lay around, fuck, fart, eat, go to work, and come back, give orders, and rest. Okay? That is some bullshit. And this is what all these dudes who are going along with this misogynistic, woman-hating, inferiority complex about women feel like all women should be an actual fucking servant and some type of bang maid for them to have in their house. And women have to understand that with this dude in office, these are the type of things that they're going to be trying to push on us. But it's real simple, women. All hope is not lost. You just simply don't comply with any of the bullshit. If they say you should have children, don't. If they say you should get married, hell fucking no. If they say you should live with a dude, say to them, yeah, right, that's never going to fucking happen. Get a roommate who's a woman. Go back home, live with your mama. Live with your sister. Live with your girlfriends. Live with people you know. Get a roommate who's a woman. Live with 3 or 4 women. Whatever. Just don't do anything where it benefits men. It's that simple. They don't have to answer to nobody. They don't answer to anybody. Do what you want when you want to. Get to ignore, deny your history of violence and other irresponsible behavior. Don't we know that's right? Get to write that one right there. Get to ignore, deny your history of violence and other irresponsible behavior should stick out in your minds of deadbeat dads, how they always leave their families and create families everywhere they go, turn women who had a great future ahead of them into single mothers, always complaining about what women don't do in relationships, never hold any accountability for themselves, but always swear to God women need to do everything for them. It's fucking crazy. Let me just check the chat real quick. All right, great. Let me go back to it. Where was I up to? Irresponsible behavior. Get to write history, get to determine future, choose battles and what it will cost her, proves your superiority, win all the arguments, don't have to listen to her wishes, complaints, anger, fears, etc. Make the rules, then break them when you want to. So she won't get help against you for past beatings, because she has no friends to support her and she's confused by my lies. Convince her she's nuts. Convince her she's unattractive. Now, isn't that what they try to do to Black women collectively? When they do that whole thing about we're the least attractive, we want to see y'all with natural hair, you don't need makeup, you should need to stop wearing those wig weaves and makeup and lashes. This is the shit here, y'all. Y'all need to understand, because it's a manipulation tactic to get you to honor and only have eyes for them, so that everything you do that could benefit several people who would actually probably benefit you back, you don't get involved with, but you say race loyal to these fucking losers who have all this type of ignorant shit on their mind. Convince her she's nuts, convince her she's unattractive, convince her she's to blame, convince her she's the problem. I could dump on her. Can use kids to spy on mom. Kids won't tell mom what I did. Kids won't disagree with me. Don't have to talk to her. I'm king of the castle. Can make yourself scarce. Have someone to unload on. Have someone to bitch at. She won't call police. That's another thing. Black women, I don't give a fuck what's going on in this country. I don't care how many Black males get killed, how many boys. I don't give a fuck. Whenever there's something wrong going on with you, where you're being threatened, violence is the issue, or you possibly could lose your life, or something has been taken from you. I don't care if it's a credit card to whatever. You better call the police. You better call the police, and you better document it. And if you have cameras to provide evidentiary support, I slowed that word down on purpose. You need evidentiary support, so that if you have to go to court to get a restraining order, an order of protection, you also can ask for a right to obtain a licensed weapon or a weapon in that state if you don't have to be licensed, so that you can protect yourself. And then you, by all means, should fucking protect yourself and your children. And do not hesitate to pull the trigger, and do not let those motherfuckers get close enough to you. Always know that the safety distance from one person to the next is one outstretched arm length away. If a person gets past the fingertips of your extended arm, they can do deadly harm to you. Do you understand? Never let them get within that range if you are holding a handgun. Shoot it before they get past those fingertips. That is to ensure you literally walk away from that incident. Okay. Have someone to bitch at. She won't call police. Tell kids not to listen to mom. Get her to drop charges. Get her to support me, to her family, my friends, the cops, the judge, child protective services, the prosecutors, etc. Get her to admit it's her fault. Black women, that is a main thing, okay? If you press charges, or you call the police, or you go to court, follow the fuck through. When you do not follow through, you lose all credibility with these people. Do not do that. You could continue to have a relationship if you're crazy enough to want one with this offensive motherfucker, with your order of protection, with the complete processing of the arrest and everything else that goes with it in court. Do not stop the process, because people will not give a fuck about you. It will be like you are the little boy who cried wolf. They will say to themselves, she's not fucking serious because she came back to recant her statement and to drop the charges. Do not fucking do that. Every state is not like New York, where New York will override the victim and sue and do whatever the fuck they need to do to that person without the fucking victim. So if you don't live in a state like that, where your state can supersede you, follow through for your own fucking safety. The majority of women who are victimized in their homes that are taken by Black femicide is because they recanted, they dropped charges, and they thought a nigga might change. He's not going to change. He's going to continue to fuck you up because it gives him gratification based off of all of the reasons I just read to you. Understand? Let me read this last part about Chuck so y'all know where to find him, okay? So Chuck Deary is the director of Gender Violence Institute, and it is a website. One word, genderviolenceinstitute.org. He is in Clearwater, Minnesota, and he is a founding member of the North American Men Engaged Network called NAMN. And what he's doing now is he goes out of his way, working in different communities and working through his organization to hold males accountable for the violence that they commit against women and children. I say we give a commendation to Deary because he's doing the work that needs to be done. He can be reached at GIV@FrontierNet, one word, frontiernet.net. So GIV@FrontierNet.net. And the name of his organization again is Gender Violence Institute. Okay? I'll put that stuff up later the way I always do after the end of the live. So if anybody wants to reach out to him or contact him, set up something, speak to him, interview, get some information, you can. All right? Okay. Let me just look at the comments because I missed it while I was reading that because I had to make it bigger for me to see. You know, I got my reading glasses on. I can't see much these days without them. Reading, that is. Okay. She said, who's signing up for this madness? I am her. You be surprised. All this time I've been going from YouTube. I've been on TikTok, crashing lives and crashing the fuck out. What's up, Kiana? I've been over there fighting with women about why they feel the need to be in relationships with males when these dudes are on every fucking platform over there on TikTok talking about how they can't stand women. They really hate Black women. They talk about us worse than anybody. And then out of the other half of that same mouth, they will talk about the problems in the Black community can be solved by marriage and bringing dysfunctional, drug-using, violent, abusive, sexually assaulting, and violent Black males back into homes with women and children. As if they tend to seem to forget that the reason they're not in the fucking homes is because they do shit on a regular, like what happened to that little girl whose case is in court, you know, for her being a baby, being pregnant by a grown man, living with her aunt that took in a child predator. And this dude is just running through the house, sexing the kids and sexing the women, getting babies pregnant, and then killing them by trying to give them, you know, a homemade fucking abortion. This shit is wild. Cognitive dissonance is real. I mean, that shit is like, exponentially to the 9th power or something. Like, these women are crazy. And it's like, the only thing I could think is that they really feel like they're missing out on something that other women have, and they just can't see that you being with a dude, being in a relationship and having some bum ass nigga in your house is not going to fucking help you. That's not going to add to who you are and what you have. When we really look at reality, when you have situations like that, let's say if you working, you by yourself, you handling your business by yourself, you meet some dude, you move this nigga into your house, your bills are doubled. Your food bill is tripled. And now you no longer have the peace you had in your house. Now you got conflict every fucking day. You got somebody trying to beat your ass, trying to get strong on you. And let's not even forget about all the TikTok videos we've seen of black women with teenage daughters who have nice bodies, and the fucking dudes that these women marry or bring into their homes as their whack ass boyfriends. They want to try to fuck their daughters, saying crazy shit like, with that video I saw with this stupid fucking black woman. This nigga is gonna literally tell her, and she married this motherfucker, oh, your daughter has 3 days to leave this house because I know what I like, and her body looks exactly like yours, so she got 3 days to leave because I know what I like. Like, what the fuck you talk? First of all, you have that shit recorded. There would be no fucking way he would have lived in that house a moment more. It would have been, call the police. This motherfucker is threatening to rape my daughter. Okay? Get him the fuck up out of there. Get the referral from the police to go to court. Have him literally removed from his own house. And then go back to court so that he has to pay for that motherfucker while he doesn't live there. And then go back to court again, because you got to do everything in steps to get everything you need to make sure that he stays away from you, your house, and your daughter, whether it be a restraining order, because states are different, or a complete fucking order of protection. And put in the order of protection that the motherfucker is extremely violent, so that if you live in a state where you got stand your ground laws or self-defense, you could just send this motherfucker where he needs to go. Because that shit was crazy. And the fact that this woman was so fucking calm when this dude said some wild shit like that. If I would have been that girl's mother and he said some shit like that, I would have immediately called 911 and just literally got up, got a weapon, and I would have waited for them to come. Because if he would have went anywhere near my daughter after that shit, I would have killed that motherfucker right where he stood. I kid you fucking not. One thing I don't play about is my kids. I don't fucking play nobody. That dude would have been dead in that house. They are so ignorant, and everything with them is so sexually capricious, where everything about them is the satisfying their sexual needs. And it's like, come on, what the fuck is wrong with black women? How many young girls are we going to see die in the news, be sexually assaulted, be violated and exploited, and they still want to have these bums in their house? Like, what is wrong with y'all? And stop with this shit about it's not all men. It is all men. Because where are the men that are standing up against this shit? Where are the men that came to support women for women's rights? Where are the men that today know that black women do not have equal rights? Women don't have equal rights. And even though, right, the president yesterday, or was it, let me get it right, I think it was on the 15th or some shit. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday, right, of this week that passed. Now this motherfucker been in office all this time, right? So a couple of days before he literally has to leave office, he decided to ratify the Human Rights Amendment, making everybody equal in America, right? The only problem is you have to enter that into the Library of Congress after you add the amendment to the Constitution, which he did, right? All right. There's a secretary person called like what do you call that shit again? It's like, give me a second, y'all, because it has to be archived, right? So she's called the archivist, right? She has to enter that shit into the library for it to be fully effective and enforceable, right? This is an old, hateful, racist white bitch. Do you know this bitch never did it? And she's refusing to enter it into the library? Because what she knows as a white racist bitch with the history of the Ku Klux Klan and racism and slavery in America, when she enters that shit into the library, there will be no more of this shit where they can say, oh, we refuse to do DEI. There will be no need for affirmative action legally. You understand? What people do in practice and what is legal is two different things, right? So once this bitch puts this into the archives, she archives it, right? It is legally ratified, meaning this is the motherfucking law. Constitutionally amended, meaning the highest motherfucking law in the land. That's the reason why the bitch don't want to put it in. The same reason why when they was worrying about all the people from America, blacks mostly, going over to what's that shit called? Zai-Hung Shu, Red Note, and they were seeing how the people in communist countries live like human beings, and the government is not fucking bleeding their pockets dry and dealing with ignorant ass racism. Well, we know why they don't deal with racism, because in most of the countries they're monoracial, right? Over here in America, you have these fucking foreigners from Europe who have taken over the country, and they have a problem with the black people they brought here against their will. And the crazy shit about all this is that they've used this whole country and the laws that they created in it to isolate and keep black people from having any type of humanity and decent life the way they have it. And then when they see that there are other people in the world who are more elevated as humans and who are more, what is that fucking term they always like to use as if they're greater than everybody else? Diplomatic and civil, right? They see, hold on a minute. They see, right, that if you don't have racism and you don't have all them stupid fucking hangups about people, you can actually live like they live in other countries. But these motherfuckers are so brain dead and so fragile in dealing with all of their issues from psychological effects from slavery, they can't get past their hatred of black people. And so that's why you see dumb bitches crying and shit on the damn app. Oh my God, I gotta work like 60 hours. And like, bitch, nobody told you had to work 60 hours. If you would have fucking voted for Kamala, you wouldn't have to work 60 hours. And if you would vote for people who wanted to have everything equal or decent for everybody in this country, you wouldn't be in the fucking position you in. And it's like, believe me, y'all, as these next 4 years go, you're going to see all these racist, poor white people getting their asses handed to them, because these rich white people do not give a fuck about them either. And they about to learn what it's like to live in America as poor black people. They about to learn that shit real hard. All right, let me get to the questions before I move on. I Am Her said, black people have always been overly sexualized, Sally. No, only certain ones. And you got to understand, I Am Her. White people in this country do that shit intentionally. Think about what I'm about to say. Most black women are very conservative with their bodies, very conservative with how they live, right? The majority of us, and this has happened with me as well, when we come from women who have been abused in marriages, situationships, or cohabitating with people who are their significant others for a long time, when those women get rid of those dudes, they usually don't have other guys coming to their house, and they just take care of their kids by themselves and they go on and live their life, right? You have a few women that will be real low self-esteem and run through fucking dudes like it's crazy. But for the most part, the majority of women are like me. They get married, they get divorced. They have a man or a dude they with or whatever. When that shit stops, they like, fuck this bullshit. I can do bad by myself. And they stay by themselves and they do what they got to do. I have been single and by myself for the last fucking 20 years since I got rid of the last fucking husband I had. Okay? Now, when I say that, I mean, there has been no man living in my house with me and my children. Have I been with other dudes? Absolutely, right? But they have not been allowed to cross my threshold. Because I said, once I want that last fucking asshole out, I don't want no more assholes in my house ever again. Okay? I deal with them wherever the fuck they are. They're not coming in my house. And there's a lot of, most black women do that, regardless of where they are, how much they make, who they are, wherever they fit in society's stratification systems they have about who we are based on what we got, right? So no. But what they're trying to do is, because they know that about us as black women, This is the reason why they introduce and try to get us to advocate and big up shit like what's that girl, Sexy Red, and all these other women that's always like throwing their bodies around and exposing their asses. It's not like these women go out and voluntarily want to do this. Y'all got to remember how this country works. They hold them to that shit in their contracts, so that is a part of their ability to make money. So when and you got to remember, all this shit is predicated off of the infrastructure of slavery, sex farms, and using Black people as chattels in slavery. Don't forget all that shit, y'all. So they have a history, they have a system, they have a fucking precise understanding of how to get people to become hypersexual and be out here reproducing like a motherfucker to keep them making money off of our Black bodies. That's what all that shit is about. So when they put that music out there to our young girls, they know the young girls don't have all the fucking mind and life experience and intelligence as older women and women who have been pick-me's, had shit done to them one time too much, and they like, look, fuck this, I'm done with this shit for good. You know how y'all say leave them, they're gonna learn, they're gonna figure it out on their own? That shit really does happen, right? So these white people, they have studied us enough to know this shit. They know us better than we know ourselves sometimes. Right now, as we doing this fucking video, if you think one of them motherfuckers are not paying attention to what I'm telling y'all and watching your comments and watching the interaction between us, you would be wrong, because they definitely are. Okay? So they do all this shit. They've studied us. They've seen how, like, and y'all need to check this out on your own any day you get a chance, right? There are books on how Black males, after the Great Migration to the North, right, in the 1920s, right, where, you know, niggas came around that they idolized, like Iceberg Slim and all them other fucking pimps whose names I don't remember right now. There was a massive fucking prostitution transition, forced transition of Black women. Okay, I see it. All right, don't get scared. The picture just fell. You all right? The picture fell off the wall. My dog about to have a fucking heart attack. So there was this huge thing where they was just becoming pimps because they couldn't get jobs, right? When they first came up north. This is before the boom of the factories, right? And all y'all gotta do is just search this and you can find tons of books on this. It was heavy in Chicago, heavy in Detroit, heavy in Louisiana, where my people are from. And it's like they literally lived 20, 30 years off of pimping Black women to white men and everybody else so that they can make money and the Black family could survive. This is literal history, right? So these white people see this shit. They see this. They see all of this, right? And they say to themselves, okay, so we know how to interrupt their progress. We will use sex to interrupt their progress. So, because whenever they had like problem times in their history of being in America, sex was a pivotal part of it. It was a pivot either to the negative or a pivot to the fucking positive. I'm serious, y'all. You got to read this shit to see it. So, all right. So they watch all that and then they say to themselves, because they think about everything at one time, right? And they get to this, right? They look at the Black femicide stats, right? There's so many Black women and girls being killed every day that they're not reporting on, that they don't give a fuck about, because it's only Black women and girls. And because we are people that they consider like untouchables or throwaways, you don't hear about it in the news. The only way you find out about it, because unfortunately us with our fucked up selves, we ran Rosa off of YouTube, who was on here with Cha-Cha and Ori, who was keeping up with Black femicide every day. Now, yes, I know we lost Cha-Cha. She passed away, but we still have Ori and we still have Rosa, but they not coming back because they did not like all the disrespect they were being given by Black women who were these pick-me chicks and these fucking Black dudes that wanted to fight so hard against the truth of Black femicide being exposed, right? So they're gone. And I miss them dearly because believe me, when they were here, even though you had these women that wanted to be in relationships with these dudes, Black women were more aware of the danger and the threat to their lives and their children in getting into relationships with these dudes and bringing them into their home, because they would be posting that shit every week, showing women, all the dead women, all the dead children, week by week by week, year after year. Can you imagine that shit? That is enough to traumatize the fuck out of women. And that's what was happening. And these white people was watching. They watching, right? So what they did was they said, this is how I'm thinking about it. If I'm them, I would look at that shit and go, let me see here. We got all these rebel rousing bitches like me and others trying to call Black women's attention to the shit that we want them to stay sleep at, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep flooding the music industry with Black women talking about sucking dick, fucking, making money, being people that you pay for play. I don't want to call them no fucking derogatory name, right? Being women like that. And we want to make it seem like the more sexual you are, the more money you can make, the faster you could get up out of poverty, and then you could flex and floss and all that shit in front of Black people. Isn't that what they show us every day? So as these women are dying, they're trying to hypersexualize our young girls by the music and by making them believe that they need to be with older dudes with money. Sorry for y'all that don't like what I'm about to say, but this is the shit that Shira 7 pumps, right? And other women like her that's trying to tell our young girls that they should not be interested in their own future, where they have a career or a job that takes care of themselves. They have an education where they can provide things for themselves and never need a man. They're not doing that. They're telling them just the opposite. And then you have all this societal shit compounding the message, so that if you keeping up with me and you understand the vicious cycle, right? The little girls are who they're targeting. They want the little girls to see the Black women shaking their asses, being flown out, being in the tight clothes, looking good, always, showing body, being sexual, right? So that these girls become hypersexual, so that they're always subject to trafficking, local prostitution, being fucking groomed by some disgusting fucking pedophile. Y'all get what I'm saying? This is how they keep us fucked up, because it's not enough for those of us who are older than 18 who know better. We need the girls that's 18 and younger to also know better as well, so that none of us get fucking trapped. None of us get caught. This is why they do all the shit they do. And they do it constantly, because they on here looking at what we say, what we post, and then they sit down and strategize against it. And I can guarantee you, without even knowing what's coming, they're going to try to make life hard for us. They're going to think that if they try to make our money very, very short, so that it's not enough to take care of how we live, the people we got to take care of, they think that's going to force us into fucking with men and moving in with men, because they want to plant the seed in our heads that, oh, if I don't have enough, I need to go get this dude to fuck him so that he can give me extra money so I can finally have enough to live life the way I should and be okay in life. When we know as Black women, that shit never works that way. When you have these niggas around you, they never contribute. They always take. Because you got to remember, going back to that fucking article, right? Of what did it say? What was the article? Let's run it back, pull it back down again. Hold on, y'all. Going back to this article here, right? Abusive men describe the benefits of violence. Going back to this, we understand that they already know they're not coming into no relationship with us or give a fuck about our future or benefits or our rights or our humanity. When they come in to get whatever they can to keep you that's right, Kiana, financially trapped, baby trapped, mentally fucking afraid, and everything else, so that you are literally their fucking slave to do what they want when they want for the rest of their life. They don't give a fuck about your life. Because believe me, y'all, if it was about them caring about women and children, where the fuck are they at? Why aren't they marching out there? Why aren't they rallying about don't do this to women? Why aren't they having a say about abortion bans? Why aren't they fighting for women's ability to have a say over their own bodies and to have abortions if they want them? Why aren't they saying, yes, the women are right. If they don't want to choose us, they don't have to. But if they want to choose us and they want to marry us, we want to fight for their rights too. They're not doing that because they don't fucking care about it. They want to be in control of you not be able to do shit, and they be able to do everything. And that's what women really are having the hardest time with understanding. Those fucking male identified women. And they're not paying attention to shit, right? All right, hold on, let me read something, let me move on. That's why I believe there are more boy moms than girl moms. Truly, I don't believe in that whole thing about boy and girl moms. I believe in Black women who just don't have their fucking heads right, who are more male identified than caring about themselves and other women and girls, because that's really where it's at. Because believe me, you hear the way I speak, right? I have 3 sons, y'all. 3. And I got a whole bunch of fucking grandsons, and I only got 2 granddaughters. So I got a whole bunch of dudes around me at all times. But I still say what the fuck I say, and I say it right in front of them. I don't give a fuck because I'm real about what I'm saying. So it is about the woman. It is not about what kids you have. It is about the woman. My mind is on straight. I know that if I don't stand up for me and I don't care about another Black woman and her daughter and all the daughters that are not mine, nobody's going to give a fuck about my daughter or my granddaughters. You understand what I'm saying? I know that. So those women that do that, they do that because they don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. That's really what it's about. They give a fuck only about getting validation by some fucking dude, and that's it. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. They don't care about it because if you tried to talk to one of those women about women's rights or women's employment, women's education, or about little girls and little girls' futures and about making little girls independent, they'll probably give you the biggest fucking attitude and try to change the subject or try to shoot down what you're talking about because their priorities is not women and girls. Their priorities fucking boys and men or boys and grown males because these niggas are not men. They're not men at all. They're really not. All right, let me keep moving, right, y'all? So what I wanted to also show y'all before I get to the Congress part is we did that. All right. Women, right? Black women. We all know, right, that in this country, I just got to bring, this is like, I saw this yesterday and I looked at the cover of the New York Times today, right? Unfortunately, because I don't have a subscription, I can't go into it the way I want to, but they literally had on the cover yesterday. Why would they have a cover about Black women and unemployment? If y'all understand where I'm going with this, you'll see what I mean. Like, they literally are looking and needing us to fail in every way so that we could continue to be a commodity, right? So yesterday's front page was like, and I tried to find it on here, but I think I have found it somewhere else. It was about the unemployment rates for Black women. Let me try to find it, right? Because I had got the article somewhere. And what they're doing is they're betting on us, right? Not having the money to survive and making it harder. Because it was an article on Yahoo too, January 4th. Here's the article. It says, will it be harder for Black women to get a job in 2025? It's measured the unemployment rate from November 2023 to November 2024 was based solely on race. And when I'm going to show y'all, let me show y'all this shit. You see all these articles where they're seriously just targeting Black women, economics, and economy, right? The first article is about inequalities we face, right? And they're going from last year to this year, and they even went as far back as November 23rd, 23, right? And here, when you see this, like when you know these articles at the bottom, when you see the tag say race and unemployment rate, this is clearly giving you an indicator, right? That they're going to be coming for us in this area. Because if they were not, they would not have these articles as much as they do in regards to us, right? Then right here, you have NCRC. And this one is talking about a strong Black economy still mirrored in inequality. Now, mirrored is to be sullied, soiled, or put into something that is not good, right? So you see what I'm saying? And then when you look at the little synopsis, right, they're saying about 100,000 fewer Black men reported. I don't know why they always adding them when they talk about us. Well, I'm wrong this time because they said Black economy, so I'm wrong. But let me read it. About 100,000 fewer Black men reported being employed in January than in December, while about 80,000 more were listed as unemployed. So these motherfuckers just keep getting more unemployed. Then they say the unemployment rate for Black women, meanwhile, held steady in January. So they always watching us. So if our shit held steady, that means that none of us are losing jobs more than we're gaining jobs. We're equal, right? So they're watching that. But the question is, why the fuck are you watching that? So then if you look at the next title, right, under just a general keyword search on News One, they're like jobs report. Black unemployment surges. Black women hit. I got to go to it and I'm going to come back, right? Where does it say? Black women hit what? Unemployment surges for Black women, especially women. November's rise in unreported unemployment should be serious cause for concern. The Center for Economic and Policy Research said, what did they say? Let me get to it. In a troubling sign that one prominent economist called a serious cause for concern, the Black unemployment rate in November surged to its highest level in 8 months, with Black women workers in particular bearing the brunt of the joblessness. So you understand what I was telling y'all before about them looking at the shit we say, watching us, monetizing us as a commodity in this country? That is not by coincidence. That is them looking at us and then them deciding, oh, well, you know, we'll just stop giving them work. We'll just like not hire them. We'll put them in a position where they have to double up with people or go into relationships with men because this is where we need them to be to get these babies that we need them to have. We need them to get rid of this birth dearth that they keep talking about, which is fucking stupid, right? So you right, I am her. It makes us stronger because they must not, with all this surveilling us and using strategy, they still don't know who the fuck we are. They still don't know. Motherfucker, I will live in my car or literally in the motherfucking street before I do any of that shit that benefits you. They really don't know that about us. We're not fucking doing it if we say we're not doing it. I don't think it's another fucking group of women in this country that has a stronger will than we do. And we've been this way since fucking Sojourner Truth. When she wrote that whole fucking poem, Am I a Woman? Am I Not a Woman? And stood in front of the fucking Supreme Court to declare her womanhood to those racist white enslavers during that time to say, I'm going to be free and so are my children because you have taken enough from me. They really don't know who the fuck we are, do they? They really just thinking we some weak-minded motherfuckers they could just do with as they will. It's not that way. It's really not. And these stupid black fucking dudes should already know this. They should know better. Like, we're not going to be your fucking pansy. We're not going to be your fall guy. These motherfuckers is going to sink or swim in these next 4 years. I tell you that shit. If it's going to be hard for us, do you know how much fucking harder it's going to be for them? Extremely fucking hard. Because that means that mothers who got to take care of their children are going to lock the doors on, I don't need to be in no relationship. I don't need to be fucking with no dudes. I got to take care of myself and my kids. So you're going to see more of them motherfuckers on the street corners, more of them being homeless, and more of them being violent in the street. And guess what? Do just like you supposed to do as black women and other women in other countries. When they try to scare you with that, oh, it's going to get more violent now, you gear up with your weapon and you go out prepared to bust some fucking ass if somebody comes your way with the dumb shit. Because if a fucking person tries to get strong on you, you have God-given right to get strong back on them. And I literally mean that shit, y'all. Don't be afraid of a motherfucker. If they step to you, you ain't got to go blow for blow. You got to make the right fucking blows, the vital blows to that body, and watch that motherfucker drop right in front of you. Neck, every femoral artery, every eye, heart, kidneys, abdomen, and groin will drop them right fucking in front of you. You ain't got to run around trying to exhaust yourself, trying to outstrength them. What the fuck for? You know the vital parts of the body. That's what the fuck you aim for. Nothing more, nothing less. And as he bleeds out, he will remember. It ain't always about sometimes being stronger. It's about being fucking smarter. Okay? Same thing was happening in all these countries where the women were starting the 4B movement, right? When it first started, yes, it was violence until the women start fighting back. Now, if you look at those same countries that was having all that fucking chaos a few months ago, y'all remember, I think it was like last winter, it was all that rallying in the street, all those women getting fucked up, getting raped, getting beat down. And then women start going, oh, motherfucker, there ain't going to be no more of this. And when they started fighting back, what happened? They gave one woman life for killing a dude that was trying to rape her. That happened over there. Women start going out together in patrols, patrolling the night for other women. They was not fucking playing over there. And they saw it. And guess what? The same way that shit started, the same way that shit stopped. And that's the same fucking way you could do it here. You don't be afraid of nobody. Fear is as great as your belief in it. That's right. And in India too, Kiana, because in India, you know how they have them bamboo sticks? Them shits is hard as fuck to break, right? The women sawed them shits down to, I don't know if it was a 6-inch pole or whatever it was, but it was long enough for them to use them shits like how they do in martial arts. And they beat the fuck out of those dudes. They literally went from community to community, and they beat the dudes that was beating their wives and molesting the kids and fucking with women on their way home. They literally was patrolling the streets and whooping their asses. A lot of them got arrested, I ain't gonna lie, but they would just replace them with other women. And that's how you got to do it. Whenever somebody's trying to force you in a corner, you got to push back with the same force. Violence begets fucking violence, and the winner takes all. That's it. Exactly. You have to turn into the beast. This is right. You got to turn into the beast to subdue the beast. It's real shit. It is real shit. They don't understand nothing but violence, because whenever you hear them talk, they always talk about they stronger than you. They could do whatever they want to you, your body, their choice. Okay, let's see. Come try it. Come try me. Come see what the fuck I do, because I ain't going to run from you. So we're going to see. So that means, motherfucker, I'm ready for you to come this way. I'm not afraid of you coming this way. I'm prepared. Are you? They be bugging. They just be bugging out. And women got to stop being fucking pussies. They really do. She said it's actually not by strength. Let me see. It's actually not by strength. There are many. Of course, Kiana, you know I know that shit. I literally fight. I'm in the dojos. This year I'm taking up Taekwondo, all right? I have been in the military, you know this. I've been a police officer, you know I've been in parole. All those places teach you how to shoot guns, shoot rifles, fight, they teach you takedown methods. Nobody afraid of these motherfuckers. Ain't nobody afraid of them. But I don't like that. I like knives. I like knives. I like to get up close and personal and tear a person apart, literally. There's a lot of women like me. They just like it because it's less effort and you get the job done faster, way faster. Because there's one thing I've learned too about knives. People are used to guns, right? But it is something about a knife that puts the fear of I don't know what in a person just to understand the feeling that is about to happen to their flesh. Okay? Yeah. Is she crazy? No, I'm not her. I'm just for real. Like, I'm for real because it's just like that. You'll see. If you ever go to take martial arts, you'll see. Once you learn the basics and stuff like that, they literally ask you, what is it you like to specialize in? And then they train you. And I like knives. Yeah, listen, I love swords. I love all that shit. The whole reason why I want to go to Tokyo is I want to see a real life fucking Hanzo sword. That I love shit like that. I want to go to the Emperor's Castle and see the swords that was used by the 47 Ronin. I love shit like that. That is just me. I'm just a person like that. And I didn't get that out of nowhere. My grandmother was a violent black woman like that. She used to walk around with a fucking machete tied to her thigh. She didn't play with nobody. Underneath her dress, she had a fucking full-fledged machete, the one you chop through the fucking corn and the fucking tobacco. She had one of those on her thigh, ready to pull that shit at any time. And you know them shits cut through bone and everything. You will hack a person to pieces with that. So I'm sorry, I get it honestly. And I know I'm not the only one because all of our grandmothers and mothers came from the South somewhere, even if we from the North, West, or whatever. We all migrated up here. So I know I ain't the only one. I know it. But anyway, getting back to all this shit, we have to pay attention to this because when they sit up here making article after article from last year to this year, this is premeditation, okay? We see this. This is premeditation. And just black women, just be on your P's and Q's. Start talking to your black women now. Start networking. Have a place to go if you lose your place where you stay. Have a place to go if you need a little bit of extra money, right? To get your rent arrears up. Do what you got to do. Always have that black woman, that other black woman to fall back on and be there for somebody else because for these next 4 years, y'all, I'm going to come to you in a minute. I am her. You got to have your black women set up in rotation to help, to be there for everything you need and you for them because we're going to literally be all we got because they're going to try to squeeze us financially into thinking that, oh, if you get a husband, they tried this before with welfare, if y'all don't remember. They tried this before. I think it was with Clinton. They tried to make it where if you had a husband, you got more welfare and all that. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody wants the drama, the headache, and all the bullshit that come with these dudes, right? So they're going to try all this shit again. And another thing, y'all, I know a lot of y'all heard about, I didn't see it in any literal report or on congress.gov about Trump with the shit about the child support. But let me tell y'all, if they honestly try to take child support away from women, don't even stress it. Just file your taxes and don't file your kids. It's that simple. As long as you file your taxes, you good. You do not have to file your children. And then don't forget, you may lose a couple of years, but when you get to the last year, this motherfucker not being there, you could go back 3 years on your taxes. So you could get the child support for the last 3 years after this motherfucker gets out of office. Okay? So don't even stress that bullshit. Do not. No. You misunderstand me, Kiana. You know, like when you do your taxes, they're trying to take away your refund and give it to them motherfuckers. That's what they talking about. That's what they say. But like I told you, I have not seen this in actual writing. So I think this is just scare tactic. I think it's bullshit. I don't think it's real. Yes, madness. But it's a power play. if he actually does this, I don't think it's real, but if he actually does this, that would try to force women to reunite with their baby daddy or the child's father or whoever the fuck it was that they had to get rid of. This is a game they're playing. And you have to fucking checkmate them. Yeah, they playing with the because you know the tax credit is what gives you the high return, right? So like I just told the women, fuck it. Don't put the kids on there. You could do that. You don't have to file your children if you don't want to. You just file for yourself. And you might not get back as much, but at least this way, you're not giving some fucking bum who hasn't done nothing for you or your children all year your fucking money you work hard for. Don't do it. Just leave them off until the last, like, okay, so you gotta, it's 1 year, go back 3 years. So if you go to, now let's see, you would have to wait to his 3rd year in office, and you only file yourself the first 2, you'd be good. So the last 2 years, you could file yourself, and then when he's out, you could go back and claim those kids again for the last 2 years he was there, and you get the money. You have to pay a little, you know, pay for it, but you get the money added on to the next year's tax after they out. Don't even worry about it. You talk to the tax accountant, they'll tell you how it's done. It's nothing to worry about, because you can always go back to your taxes 3 years. 1 year, you can always go back 3 for 1 year. So don't even stress it. Do not stress it. You do a modification and all that type of shit and whatever else they do, and you'll get your money back. Don't even stress that shit. But I'm just saying that for the women that's losing their minds about if they have to give their money to these motherfuckers. I don't know why he would be doing that other than to try to make women deal with these dudes to get the money when you don't have to deal with the money at all. If they're not going to give it to you, fuck the money. Let them have it and you come back around for it later. That's all. And don't give them shit. You claim yourself and that's it. But this again speaks to why all those articles are there, worrying about whether we working or not, what we doing, and our money. Because they are showing you that they intend to come for your money. Because they want to make you destitute into submission. And we're not having it. We're not. We're just not having it. That's crazy. That's completely crazy. Especially when you think about, I want to show y'all this. You know how recently there's been this surge and uptake of all this misogyny and women hate with dudes with them being 70,000 deep on a disgusting fucking call about sexual violence. And then you have them being lives deep on TikTok and everywhere else where they're talking about women being held accountable and all this crazy shit. Well, this is from January 16th, this week, right? And this is from the Pew Research Center. I know y'all guys are familiar with Pew. Pew said, men, women, and social connections. So even Pew is looking at the emotional well-being of how fucking crazy these dudes are with their hatred towards women. There also was another study done on married men who talked about how they really hate their wives. So this shit is not a figment of your imagination. It's very real. And there's an impact to all this bullshit all the time. So stay abreast, right? So let's look at it. So he says, roughly equal shares of U.S. men and women say they're often lonely. Women are more likely to reach out to a wider network for emotional support. So if they're going to begin to talk about the loneliness issue, I really hope when I click on this highlighted part that says concerns about men's struggles with loneliness, they actually speak to the issues men contribute themselves to being fucking lonely. Like ultimately, y'all, and I don't like that because this is very one-sided, right? Where why are you only looking at men's loneliness? There are women that are lonely too, and not for the reasons that these motherfuckers are, but women are lonely too. Like people don't realize that there are some women like when they like me right now. I miss the fuck out of my kids. My kids are all grown with their own family. I live all by myself now with 2 fucking dogs, right? I miss the fuck out of my kids. Do they visit? Yes. Do I see my grandchildren? Yes. But is it the same as coming home and your house is fucking lively? there's laughter, there's people, there's always somebody you could talk to whenever you walk around your place or whatever. I don't have that no more. I have what they call like empty nesters syndrome or whatever. Like my shit is empty. It used to be loud and full of my family, full of my children. They gone now. So it's not always about them, and it's not always negative, you know? So, but we're going to click on that and talk about it. But I have to point that out because I saw all of these. I saw a live on it. I read a couple of articles on it. This whole thing where all of a sudden there's this like arrogance swelling up in these males where they feel like it's okay to say I'm misogynistic, I don't like women, and the only thing they could do for me is give me sex and give me children so I can feel like I'm important and feel like I have control over something outside of the lack of control that I have in society. I've seen a lot of that shit this 1 week, and we know why it's happening, because their king of misogyny is the president, and that's all it is. I want to look at this thing here and then get off this shit. So now they're talking about this lonely man epidemic and how it affects fathers. Oh, God. They really need that psychiatrist. Remember the psychiatrist who came out with this a few years ago? They really had needed to talk to him. So what are they talking about here? I'm trying to skim through this shit, y'all. So this guy is a stay-at-home dad. Already he's a fucking loser, all right? Why are you a stay-at-home dad? Why are you not helping your wife make money, right? Oh, Lord. What else is he talking about? Listen to this bullshit. There's no one to talk to. I want to walk into a place that's crowded, and it's like I don't even exist. And you know what? This is a fucking need for self-importance. I don't see no loneliness in this shit. What's lonely about that? Do y'all agree with me? Let me hear what y'all got to say. When you think about what I said in comparison to what he said, do you think that's the same? Like he's talking about he wants to go somewhere and be acknowledged by everybody. He wants to walk into a place and everybody knows him. Like he's fucking y'all remember that show Cheers and shit with what's that dude's name? Sam and that lady, I forget. Like the song, everybody wants to go where everybody knows your name. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all ever seen the show Cheers? Or is that too old for y'all? This is what he's talking about. He's looking, it seems like to me, he's looking for like a sense of belonging somewhere. What the fuck does that got to do with loneliness? That's not lonely. That's you wanting to feel important. If you lonely, go find some fucking friends. There's meetup.com. Whatever it is you like, go to a meetup event and meet some friends. Or even if you don't meet friends, just go there in that environment and you could talk to people, mingle with people who have a common interest. What the fuck are you talking about? The example I gave is different in my opinion because I'm talking about my kids. I'm not talking about outsiders or people I don't know. I'm talking about my kids, and they have to grow up. They have to become their own person, right? Autumn Blue Rose. What you mean, Autumn? You said delusional narcissist. You mean the guy that was saying that he wants to go somewhere and feel like people know him? Tell me, expand, please. But to me, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like, it's not enough for them to just be content within themselves. They have to be the biggest person in the fucking room. Like, why? Why do you need that? What's wrong with? I don't know. I really don't know, y'all. All right, y'all. I want to show y'all some Black femicide stuff. And then I want to get to showing y'all where to go find these laws and stuff that they're trying to stack up against Black women and how you could catch it before it becomes bills. Sorry, I misspoke. Read these bills and y'all can catch it before they become laws. I hear you, Autumn. He does sound pathetic, Kay. He sounds. I told you, if you ever see that show that I was talking about, Cheers, that's the opening song for the show, and it's like they talking about how people. Yeah, it's just like this because it's talking about how people have troubles in life and they're down and out, and so they want to go to this bar where basically they're going to get wasted, and people are there who are familiar with them, and so they feel comfortable in wallowing in their sorrows. The whole song was crazy. When you hear the song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it is like what you said. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and it is delusional because loneliness. I don't understand loneliness because you could be alone. Like when I told my story about the kids not being here no more, they're grown, they got their own families. That's being alone in a natural way because they're not going to stay children forever, right? They're supposed to leave. But because I have been their mother for so many years, I have grown accustomed to that. And so now that I'm still their mother, I just don't have them in such close proximity all the time the way I used to. It kind of feels weird, but at the same time, I know it is the way normal progression goes. Like, that's life. Like, they're not going to be 5 forever, 17 forever. They have to go and live their own lives and tell me funny stories and, explain shit to me that I don't understand. That's funny when that happens to me right now. Like, my grandkids explaining shit to me and I'm like, what? How does that work? Show me that again. That's a trip. Y'all wait till y'all get there. Woo, that messes with you because you think like at your big age, right? Oh, I know so much things. I know so much. And then you got a little person. Like, no, it works like this. You do it like this, and then this, and then this, and then you're like, why did I know that? Why couldn't I figure that shit out? I had to have the child help me. That's like that. It's like when you get old, when you start getting old, it's like that. You be like, God damn. Damn. I need help with that shit. Especially technology, y'all. I don't know what it is with computers and old people. It's not a good fit. You can learn shit, yeah. But just right off the rip of looking at stuff, I have to sit there, y'all. I'll be sitting there looking at it. Try and figure it out. Then I'm like, hey, let me try this. Let me try that. Okay? And then somebody younger will come. Nah, you just do this, you do this, you do that, you do this. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's very humbling. I'll tell you that much. She said, yeah, I remember that show. So you know what I mean, Autumn. That was a loser bar. Like, they were losers, They were a bunch of losers. And this dude in the article is a damn loser too. All right, let's get back to Black femicide. You know what's crazy about Black femicide is that people really try to act like it is really the elephant in the room. They be seriously trying to ignore. I do not know why, especially Black women. I'm like, why are you running from this shit when this is very important for us? Other people I can see running from it, but you should not be running from that. All right, hold on. I lost it. I'm trying to find it again. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me cancel this out. Let me go up here one more time and find it. Not that. All right, I got it. I got it now. Let me go back to it. Yeah, but I miss everybody. But then the same way you miss them when they do come and they come a lot, then you be like, damn, I can't wait for them to fucking go home. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. Like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. That's life, right? Because you know how that is. Some days you want to mess with people, and other days you like, I just don't want to mess with nobody. Why is it that these dudes never feel like that? Why they always feel like they got to be coupled with some fucking body? That is some crazy shit to me. It really is. Crazy. All right, let's watch this, y'all. Let me make sure y'all can see it. All right. I didn't like this when I heard this. This made me upset. This is from 2023. For us to get 2024, we got to go a little further into 25. You know, they never do shit on time. They never do statistics on time. Never.
Every 10 minutes, a woman or girl falls victim to intentional killing by her partner or family member. This devastating statistic, reported for 2023, underscores an ongoing crisis: femicide, the gender-based killing of women and girls. The persistence of femicide reflects deep societal failures, weak legal frameworks, cultural taboos around addressing domestic violence, and inadequate support systems for survivors enable perpetrators to act with impunity. In many cases, women are trapped in cycles of violence due to financial dependence, fear of retaliation, or societal shame. Law enforcement often lacks sensitivity, resources, or training to effectively handle cases of gender-based violence, further compounding the problem. The 16 Days of Activism provides a vital platform to address the global epidemic of violence against women and girls, including femicide. This year's theme, #NoExcuses, sends a powerful message: no justification, cultural, economic, or otherwise, can legitimize violence. It's a time to demand government accountability, strengthen legal protections, and invest in prevention and support systems. Achieving global change requires collective effort. Allies, including men and boys, must play a role in dismantling harmful norms and advocating for gender equality.
Yeah, she's right. And I wanted to add that she said because they bums. That's what I was saying earlier about, instead of them always trying to stop conversations that women are having about the injustices and the inequalities we face, why can't they just simply understand we really are people too? And if we only see a future of us being brutalized and assaulted or attacked in any way, we're not going to be nice about it. We're not going to go easy into violence. We are going to become more violent. Why is that so hard to understand? Like, women put up with a lot of shit, but women have the capacity to be just as savage, if not more savage, than anybody who has been committing acts of violence against them, because it is a decision a person makes to be violent. It is not, you born that way or you just know how to be. No, you literally decide. Everything you do, you make a decision. And women are still deciding to be as human as possible, as empathetic and understanding as possible, and at the same time acknowledging that we're not being given the same grace or the same type of treatment or understanding. And when women are deciding to be by themselves, not be married, not become mothers, this is like civil disobedience that they're participating in that these fucking idiots can't understand. And all it takes is seeing people as human beings and giving them the same rights, which is feminism, that they seem to have a problem with. They make all these stories up about feminism when all it is saying that a woman is on an equal right standing as a man, period. Anything that is rightfully going to be done for him should be rightfully done for her. We are equal human beings. Neither one of us can fly by ourselves. We all need to still walk. We put one shoe on each foot at a time. We all got to get dressed by using our hands. None of us can just think and be dressed. So there are no super people among us. So why is it that they're having the hardest time recognizing that we don't want to be victimized? Nobody fucking wants to be victimized. Why would a person want to be victimized? And who goes willingly into victimization? Now, you could intimidate and control and manipulate people into intimidation and violence and victimization, but they ain't willingly going into no shit they know is going to cause them grief, stress, and suffering. And this is when I know for me, like, I begin to understand that, sorry, y'all, I got allergies, that there's literally mentally something wrong with these dudes, because they really have a disconnect in understanding that women are not trying to be fucking bossed around. We're not trying to be beat up on. We're not trying to be told what the fuck to do. The same way they don't want nobody bossing and telling them what the fuck to do. Why the fuck would you feel like I would accept some shit you don't? What the fuck is wrong with them? What do y'all have to say about that? Do you have any ideas of why they would really think we'd be going for that shit? I mean, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I'm gonna watch that again later. What y'all got to say? Huh? Kiana? Her? What y'all got to say? Yeah, Autumn? Y'all ain't got nothing to say? Grandma said yes, all 4 feet, and carry all blades from Minster. That's funny. That's funnier. Yeah. There's a lot of little women like that. They don't be playing around. Nah, it's true. It's just crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, you hate to go back to like different parables from religion, but sometimes they apply, right, to real life. Like, that shit that people have always said, like, do unto others as you would want somebody to do unto you, that is a real thing. You cannot expect for you to abuse somebody and then you think that person is not going to eventually or immediately turn around and do the same thing to you. Nobody wants that. And for them to think that that is something inherent to who we are because we're women is fucking madness. Like, let me tell y'all, I told y'all I've been living on TikTok, right? They're over here on YouTube too, ever since people knew that TikTok was gonna go down for a little while, but it's back now, right? There's a lady, Tara, right? She does like his experiments with these dudes about respect and control. I don't want to bring her up because I don't know if she, would appreciate me doing that. But if you flip through the TikTok lives, you'll see her, right? She's on YouTube too, and she got a channel. Let me see what the name of the channel is. I'll put the name of the channel. I won't put her face and stuff, so that way I don't offend her. Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. But what my point is this, right? What she speaks to is these dudes and how they always have a problem with people disrespecting them and them having an issue of having a level of control when it comes to women versus them, right? So I was watching one of her videos earlier, and she is extremely fucking funny. When I tell you funny, like, I'll be doing work and stuff and listening to her videos from the kitchen and like damn near on the floor. Cause first off, right, like her voice is funny, right? I don't know if she does that on purpose, but her voice is funny, and like and the way she talks to them is funny too. I'm gonna put her up so that if y'all wanna watch her do her thing, Tara.js, right? So I got this right? Yeah. She's really good. I don't know if she's studying psychology or what, but she really like shows the type of things that they're going through. When I showed y'all that video from that article earlier, I learned about that article from her. Because I think I catch all the stuff, but I didn't catch that one. I caught some of the later ones that I didn't really agree with. But that one where Mr. Derry actually listed out all those reasons for control and the benefits of manipulating women and controlling women was the best article. And that was from 2015. Every other article since then to 2025 has been bullshit compared to that one. But I got turned on to that from her. Now, to get back to it, right? when she does her videos, I always learn something from them because I kind of like have I guess like a tunnel vision when it comes to these dudes because I have such dislike for them, right? Like I really do not like them in any way, right? I was gonna say I hate to say it, but I have to be fucking honest. I only like my sons and my grandsons. All the rest of these people, even the motherfuckers related to me, I can't fucking stand them. Okay, I don't like them. I don't like them standing next to me. I don't even like to look at them if I don't have to. I don't want to fucking talk to them. I don't like them, right? They fucking make me sick. Like they're just gross to me, right? And it has come to this because I look at the shit they do online. I look at the shit they do in real life when I have to work with these motherfuckers. I gotta interact with them to a certain extent. I watch how they do. I read stories. I read articles. I watch things, documentaries. And I'm just like, yo, these dudes is just fucking trash all the way around. 360 degrees of fucking garbage, right? Just ill fucking repute. Just the sticky shit on the bottom of the pot nobody want to fuck with. They just gross. So I can't always have like a real objective like observation when I'm looking at them or listening to something they say, because she said I'm the same way. No, Autumn, I'm so serious. Like I can't even like when they try to hold the doors and shit for me, I just stand back and I be like, nah, I'm okay. In my head, I just am like so like at the moment tense, angry, disgusted, going through all types of anxiety and stress. Like I'm really suffering from PTSD at the moment, right? Like, 'cause I want them to get the fuck away from me as fast as possible. Like I really cannot stand them. So I can't look at stuff when it comes to them and have an open mind. Like my mind is so negative when it comes to them. Like I really, really don't like them. And if it's anywhere where there's going to be a bunch of them, I can't fucking go there. I cannot. Because I'm going to be like in a real negative space where I'm going to want to get violent. You understand what I mean? Because I don't like them. And I'm just like, yo, get the fuck away from me. You know, it's like that type of thing. Like, like that, right? So I have to try to control myself. It's so hard for me at work. Y'all have no idea. I got to keep those AirPod shits in my ear with something where I don't hear the voices and I don't really see them when they walk past my office and shit because I don't fucking like them. I can't even stand the sight of them. It's that bad, right? So with Tara, right, even though she's talking, I've been able to listen. I can't look at it. If I look at it, I'm going to be going through some fucking problems, right? I'm going through some things. I can't look. I have to hear it from a distance so that my mind does the work. Because if I look at that shit and see one of them faces, I'm going to scroll past that shit or get rid of it right away because I don't like looking at them. So I'm listening to her. And her thing is she focuses on two things all the time that I have picked up from her videos. She focuses on their need to have this false security of respect, this false security of being in control of shit that they're not in control of, but thinking that their level of aggression, hatred, and nastiness, like just all types of vitriol, right, towards Black women actually others them and makes, this is what they believe now, going by what I see from her videos and stuff, and them talking. They actually believe by like trying to put Black women down and trying to other themselves with always speaking in ways where they try to make their image or promote themselves as being non-threatening or all-inclusive of whitey and everybody, and Black women are really the problem. They're so pro-Black and anti-everything else. But look at us Black dudes. We're different from them. We are somebody you can accept and you gotta love us. That's the type of shit they project when they're talking. And you really see this come through when they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They really don't have no concept of the content you're speaking to. And then they start trying to sound smart, which makes them think they're on some level of being important or assimilated to some type of whiteness, right? And they just talking and talking, but ain't saying shit. And it's like she points all this stuff out in these videos. And the reason she's doing it is for the very first things that we were talking about earlier with I Am Her and some of the other women when we were talking about the women with the boy moms versus the girl moms and the mentality. She's doing this to show those type of women, because she ain't got to convince me, because I ain't fucking with them no matter what. You could give me the option of take this black dude or take crucifixion. I'm going to start putting my robe on and shit, or pull the shit down to my waist like they did Jesus and get ready to get the nails. I'm good. I'll fucking go out. I'm all right. I'm not fucking with this. So she does this to show them, like, as much as you think that no matter what you do to win their affections or their you know, you can't even say respect, because they don't respect women, period, right? You doing it for nothing. You're doing it for nothing. And every time they come up, and it really shows like how fucked up their mental is, because whenever it's a white person on her panel, they give that white person the utmost fucking respect, yo. They don't speak when that white person is speaking. They don't say no slick shit. They like a little kid being checked by their parent, right? But as soon as they come up and they speaking to a black woman, the first thing they do is come up disrespectful, calling fucking names, talking out the side of their face, trying to talk strong as if they the only motherfuckers that can hurt somebody. Like, I really, that shit right there needs to be studied. Like, I love dudes like that. Cause I be like, don't you know that's what they make weapons for, motherfucker? Like, you could be in the gym all day, and all I gotta do is poke you like 3-4 times in the right spot. And ain't none of that shit you did gonna mean a motherfucking thing. You gonna still bleed out the same way as if a little kid would, me or an old person. You're fucking dumb. And it never sinks into their head that you could be strong and all that bullshit you think. But women have access to weapons, which are an automatic fucking equalizer. It don't matter, dumbass. But it never dawns on them. And they always come up on the panel the same fucking way. Excuse me. They come up ready to fight, talking shit. They always calling somebody a bitch, a hoe. It's like, nigga, at this point, I'm gonna come to you. Don't you understand that at this point, black women have like written you off like you're fucking stupid. You are nowhere compatible to anything about us. So we expect you to be stupid and to be insulting, because that is all you're capable of. But me, because I don't like them motherfuckers, that's why you never see me include them in the motherfucking thing I do. Because I do not have the patience for that shit, because I really hate them motherfuckers on every level. I can't stand them. And I often wonder to myself, what the fuck do black women see in these pieces of shit? Like, I'm like, why the fuck do y'all like them? They're just fucking gross from head to toe. Let me come over here to the comments. She says, but I also feel the same way about white. Yeah, I don't like white men either. Let me tell you something. I am not one of them. That is another thing that I have a mental fucking block about as well. And because my mother had a white counterpart, right, after my dad died, and she had some other husbands and shit, I did not like that nigga, okay? At all. He was not mean to me. He was a decent fucking person. It was just the fact that he was white. I'm gonna tell you. I'm a type of little I was the type of little black girl that read books on slavery, read books on black women history. I was as pro-black woman and pro-black without trying to be in love with black men 1,000%. And when I used to come home and have to look at this white nigga in the living room and wait for this motherfucker to get out of the bathroom so I could brush my teeth to get ready, I used to be saying to myself all the time, but I would never say shit to my sisters or my brothers because they all love this motherfucker, right? I'm like, what the fuck is my mother thinking? And then I would always think about my father, even though my father was fucked up in his own right. I would think about, what the fuck would he think about this shit? What would he think about this shit? What? That was me as a kid, right? So now listen, I had to deal with this nigga as a stepfather, right? Then I grow up, not to mention my mother ended up having a kid for this dude. That's another story. I ain't talking about that. I don't want that motherfucker to see me talking. Okay? So anyway, that's a bottle I don't want open. So I'm coming, y'all. But then I turned around and had my sister do that shit and my own fucking daughter. I'm surrounded by fucking white people and I can't stand white folks. Y'all have no idea the fucking torture I be going through in my own house sometimes. Sometimes I go into my own kitchen and I just gotta like ease to the fucking refrigerator and not to bump into anybody, not to look too close at people and be like, it's real. Because you can't be nasty and all fucked up like that. You know what I mean? But I just be like, what the fuck? But I say that shit about white men. But I will jump on a fucking Asian man in a minute. Do you hear me? I don't give a fuck what kind of Asian man it is. All right? Hawaiian, Indian, Oriental. Give me one of them motherfuckers and I will become another person. All right? I just like them. I am just physically attracted to those motherfuckers. Completely. And let me get into these comments. Let's see. You said, their minds are not their own. Yeah, they're fucking stupid, her. These black bums have been enslaved mentally. They're mentally conquered. You know, funny you said that. Because I'm one of the people that don't laugh when I'm about to say this, okay? I fell for the shit with Umar in the very beginning, gave him money for the school and everything. Used to be on those lives talking to him and everything. And I told him this years ago. I said, you know, the biggest problem you have with the disconnect between black women and men, I don't even know if he remembers this. I remember this, right? I told him, I said, they're mentally conquered. He agreed with me. And, you know, we had a little conversation. You know how he do that little live shit he do, right? And I was telling him about some of the things that had happened to me with dudes when I was still talking to them around this time. Because the very last black dude that I had a thing with was a Jamaican man. And I'm going to tell you something, y'all. All my husbands have been Caribbean. Well, half Caribbean. Yeah, Caribbean, because they born in the Caribbean, right? I have never married an American man. I've dated one, never married one, and never really cared for them. Never. The only one I ever cared about was my actual father, right? But I knew growing up, I was like, there's something wrong with them, all right? But that's not neither here nor there. I'm just telling you about me. So anyway, when I was talking to Umar about the Jamaican man, even though I didn't tell him this, I was saying to him, they conquered, but with this particular dude, his issue with women was like literally wanting to be a fucking overseer. And I was telling Umar this without telling him exactly. And that's what led us into the whole thing of them being mentally conquered. Then as years progressed, and I'm looking at all of them from everywhere, right? Africa, Australia, the Caribbean, America, the fucking moon, they're all the same. Back then, I literally thought that the other ones was better than these ones, when in fact, they're all the fucking same. I don't know if it's something in the water, but it literally has to be something genetic because they're all fucking crazy. They're all the same type of crazy, period. Let me get to this. She said, easy to infiltrate in order to push hate narratives. Easy to infiltrate. What you mean? What you mean, her? Easy to infiltrate in order to push the hate narrative. Explain that one to me, because I'm not getting it right. I'm not interpreting it the right way. Autumn said, black men and white men are two of the same coins. I do believe that. Black supremacy and white supremacy are the same with one cause. Yeah, they both try to subjugate black women and girls. You ain't never lied. They both want to be overseers. That's real shit. They don't see their own demise acting like their white daddy. They don't. If that's the case, Hispanics are hateful too. Oh, yeah, they definitely are. Listen, I never fucked with them because I saw in them from being in school with kids, like how they do that Morena shit, how they were mad anti-black, especially here in New York City. Oh, my God. The Hispanic women, they are crazy jealous of black women. They love to fuck with black men to feel like they one up in black women, but they crazy jealous of us. Seriously. Y'all should know that. from the hip hop period. Like everything black women did, they copied it and tried to claim it was their own. From like those big earrings we used to wear, door knockers they used to call them chains we used to wear, the hairstyles, everything, child, they tried to take of us. Even they tried to come up with some crazy accent that was based off of a stereotype of us. You know what I mean? Like crazy shit. Like they were just weird. But let me get back to this. Right. She said they don't see the isn't the case hate too because you know black women are single. They had well if you listen her with this last election, if you didn't know that Hispanic people hated black people, you knew after those election poll results. But then you got to think about it from a realistic point of view. These are women that come from places where patriarchy is crazy, right? Those women in those countries have way less rights and freedoms than American women do, and especially black women. I say this all the time to y'all. American black women are the freest women in the entire fucking world. Okay? We even freer than white bitches that live in this country who got more money than us, but we freer than everybody because we free. We don't give a fuck about what black men have to say. We don't give a fuck. White women give a fuck about what white men have to say, and they better listen, or them dudes be putting their foot deep in their ass. Because when I went to school with a lot of them, because remember I went to prep school and I even went to private school for a little while, who the fuck you think was in there with me? And those girls who get ragtagged at home by their fathers, ragtagged, them and their mamas. Oh, like, what the fuck happened to you? Oh, my father was upset. I'm like, God damn. Yeah, they live like that. Not all of them, but many. Hey, Letitia. And then Christian, get the fuck out of here. Who told you could come in here? Get your ass out of here. This is women only, man. The fuck? But I appreciate you being quiet and not talking shit. I appreciate that. But you get the fuck out. So she said, I know. Well, yeah, a lot of them be just talking crazy. She said, free us? Yeah, girl. When I say free, I don't mean like whatever you think I mean, but I mean like we're free. Free in the sense of we do what the fuck we want, however we want. Women don't have to be in abusive situations if they don't want to. These women that are with these dudes, they choose that shit. They're there because they want to be there. We could call the police and leave. Listen, you know what I'm saying. You can call the police. Our voice free. Oh, I see what you mean. I'm sorry. I misinterpreted. I apologize. That's why I asked quick clarifying questions. Thank you. Right. But we are. If somebody was here with me and they was driving me crazy, I could call the cops and be like, listen, I would like this person removed from my home. They're going to make them leave. Right. And if it was the other way around and I felt like I don't want to be here no more, I could literally ask the police, can you give me an escort? I just want to pack some of my shit, take it to my car, and get the fuck out of here. I don't want this dude around me in any type of way. They're going to do that shit. So we are very, very free. In other countries, those women get ragtagged every day. They ain't going nowhere. They going to the grave. They going to the hospital. American women don't got to put up with that shit. They put up with that shit because they choose to stay in that shit. Now, when a person is doing shit to you that you can't do nothing about, like you got to get to the police. Don't think I'm not saying that. I know that, right? But if you didn't want to be bothered with some shit and you decided, I'm not getting married, I'm not getting in a relationship, I'm not having kids, I'm going to live my life, me, do whatever I want to do by myself, ain't nobody going to stop you. Ain't nobody going to stop you. Nope. That's what I mean. Like, you free. You free. We doing what the fuck we want. And we going to keep doing what the fuck we want. She said, I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I cannot tell them that at all. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, every state is different with their own, with your police and shit like that. I'm fortunate. New York State, the cops will fuck dudes up for you on command. Like they don't play a lot of shit here. They don't play that family shit. They will fuck these dudes up. Really fuck them up. And even if they see you fuck him up, they'll be like, okay. You sit down, relax. You get your ass over here. You got to go. I love it. Is it right? Probably not, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the inequality. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Who is this? Let's talk about it. Good afternoon. What's up? Good afternoon. Hello. Our voices are free. Facts. All that women that live with them. Yeah. Listen, you know what, her? And believe me, I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking what I heard. Factual shit, right? I was on a live on TikTok called Rape Culture, right? I didn't go up, but I was listening. This 50-something, this lady's the same age as me, 50-something, right? She was living with her husband for like 30 years. They've been married. She's talking about how she had autistic kids. Now, when I heard that, I'm like, this lady is messed up in a lot of ways, but while I was listening, I was like, I ain't gonna comment, I ain't gonna say nothing. But she's fucked up in a lot of ways. First off, right? You have shit out there to help you. I try everywhere I go, I try to put like finabilityusa.org everywhere. Let me put it up right now. This organization is made by 2 women that are domestic violence survivors, right? They were being beat and financially held hostage by both the dudes they was living with, right? Like, I fucked up. I spelled it wrong. Hold on. I forgot the Y. Hold on here. Hold on. I'm fucking up. I'm acting like a black dude. I always gotta take digs. So these women, they created this organization. This organization is a website that gives emergency money for women to leave domestic violence, households, and dangerous relationships. So when you go on this website is designed to be hidden. You could be on the website trying to get the money. It's a credit card form or whatever the fuck they doing nowadays, right? But it's money they send you to get the fuck out of Dodge, right? It's a hidden website when you type it on there, so that if anybody walks up on you or anybody comes to see what you're doing, you press one button on the keyboard and the shit disappears. No history of it, nothing. It just goes away so that they can't see what the fuck you was doing, right? Okay. I was telling them about that, right? I'm listening to this lady talking about how she would get her ass kicked for the last 30 years. And how when she had her kids, they're autistic. Now, if anybody, because I have an autistic nephew, right? My brother's son. He's autistic. He's the half Korean one I showed y'all before, right? You can't have that type of shit around those kids like that because they fucking flip out because it's too much excitement for them, right? So when I'm listening to her talking about how she literally sat in this relationship for 30 years getting her ass kicked, having her kids go through all types of fucking mental trauma, all because she was one of these women that was in a relationship, no job, no money, no education, no way of taking care of herself, but refused to call the scrolling national domestic violence hotline number on the screen or any local domestic violence hotline in her area or 911. So as I'm listening to this shit, all right, you got it back, your internet? All right, so I was just talking about finabilityus.org. It's just like an organization for women suffering from domestic violence who, if they go online, this is money that they get to escape, emergency money to escape domestic violence, right? And then I was talking about how this old lady, like my age, was living a whole life of getting her ass whooped and then had autistic children and then still living in a situation where, okay, I'm glad you're all right now. She's getting her ass kicked in front of her autistic kids, setting them off. And I'm listening to this shit. And this is why I was saying what I said before, because you have women out here that perpetuate the bullshit. And so as I'm watching the live, and of course there were other women like me that was like, well, why the fuck you still in that shit. And she was giving excuse after excuse, right? So I'm just listening to it. After a while, I turned the shit off because I just got tired of hearing that bullshit. And then the women on the panel and the host arguing with people in the comments and who came up to like say, like, you need to just leave. What the fuck you talking about? There's organizations out there that can help you. Clearly, you want to fucking be there because you haven't done anything. Anyway, child, she claimed she was, and all this slow, methodical escape, trying to pretend that she doesn't want to become a black femicide person on the list because, you know, just using every excuse that we know. 30 fucking years, son. 30 fucking years, son. You got women that get taken out in 2 trimesters. You talking about putting up with something for 30 years and trying to say your shit was as drastic as somebody who gets killed while they're pregnant. I don't think it's the same thing. I just don't. I could be wrong, but I don't think. Because, like, somewhere within between year 1 and year 25, if you couldn't figure out something in between that time, I just don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, that shit sound crazy to me. I don't know what y'all think, but that shit was just too crazy to me. So that's why I say sometimes a lot of those women, they just be part of the bullshit. They really do. Because I honestly don't think that there's many black women that have not had that type of shit in their life. Because I know when I was a little girl, after my dad died, my mother went through that shit with other dudes that she married. She didn't do it with the white guy. The white guy he just was white. But the other ones, the other black ones, they damn sure had the cops coming to our house. They had my brothers getting ready to go to jail, getting ready to kill a nigga for hitting their mother. It was just drama. Do you hear me? So it is something that I guess a lot of us either have experienced or know about. So I'm not going to pretend like it didn't touch me either, but it did. And it's like, we all know this shit. So why are you trying to act like if you don't want that shit in your life, you don't have to have it? It's not like you have to have an option of the lesser of it. You don't have to deal with that shit at all. I don't know. Is it me? I don't know what I don't know what it's going to take for black women to stop. Let me put that on the screen. God damn it. This is the question of the universe, okay? What is it going to take for black women? Well, they don't have to worry about me. I've been gone a long time ago. Never to fucking return. Never. Okay? And there's other women like us too, but this right here is the question of the universe. Like, what happened? Question of the universe. Because going back to Tara, right? When Tara is doing that live and you literally have these dudes coming up there, fuck you bitches, you stupid fucking bitches, and all this stuff, right? You still have women romanticizing that bullshit. Like, I'm watching the comments, right? And I'm like, did that lady just make an excuse for him calling somebody a bitch and calling somebody a hoe and talking about black women's what? I don't know. So whenever this question can be answered, that will literally be the time when black women can actually collectively progress on their own. Because that shit, it hurts. It's so crazy, it hurts. She said, I agree. But the true question is, when will women place themselves first, especially black women and indigenous women? I don't know. Now, indigenous women, they got it harder than us. This is my opinion, right? Because if they living in a res, it's hard, right? They kind of isolated from everybody. They further out. They kind of keep them stuck in poverty. White folks, the government in this country really keeps them like that. If they live in with me, because I have a couple of indigenous people that really live here in the same building I live in, right? They cool, right? And in New York City, we have this organization called the Indian House, right? The American Indian House. It's like that place is it gets jobs for them. It does social causes for them, takes care of like everything that a representative would do for you, they do in that building as well, right? All right. When they live in the cities with us, of course, they have access to everything we do. But when they're in certain states, like upstate New York, Shinnecock, right? That's a whole community of the Shinnecock. I'm not saying the word right. Shinnecock, Shinnecock, Indian, right? There's a whole reservation, a whole place where they live, right? You go up there, you'll see how they live. Very impoverished, very poor, a lot of alcohol abuse, a lot of domestic violence, and most importantly, you see how we talking about black femicide? These fucking white people that live around all them Indian people, they literally be killing those Indian women and girls like it's going out of fucking style. And I don't see enough videos on that either. I do subscribe to some of the Native women's videos, YouTube pages and TikTok pages. But listen, for my state, I know for a fact, because we border Canada way up in Niagara, right? One side is New York, the other side is Canada. When you have all of the natives that live up there, they go missing all the fucking time. And their bodies are found in the ditches up there, along those highways, those interstates where they have that grass that goes off the road over that. They be finding little girls in there, women. It's fucking crazy here, right? And I know the rest of the country is the same fucking way. Especially when you buy California, Nevada, Wyoming. I'm thinking of the heavy concentrations of some of the natives, right? Oklahoma, Utah, Nebraska. It's a lot of places in America where they have. You can't tell me that shit is not happening there either. You cannot. But the difference is with the indigenous women, I think the white people that be killing them take advantage of them because they know there ain't nothing really gonna happen to them. The same way when these black dudes are killing us, they do it because they know ain't nothing gonna really happen to them either. They gonna go to jail. The woman and the kids are still dead. They gonna come out of jail and they're gonna do it again and go back to jail, but they are still alive. Speaking of this, I don't know where I put the video up. It was either YouTube or TikTok. There's actually a MAGA woman. I think she's a senator or something. She's trying to pass a bill to become a law for pedophiles to be killed for bothering children. Now, I would never go with MAGA in my life, but if that lady is fighting for that, I don't care where she's at, I will help her in any way I can, because I think they need to be put down for that shit. I think in 1970s they did some research on seeing if they could rehabilitate them or chemically castrate them. And then they found out, because you know now, they changed the DSM like 3 times, right? So back in the 70s, I think when they first did this, they'd been said that the only way to cure those dudes is to take them out. Because even if you cut their stuff off, they still have the urge to mess with kids and they would do other things, right? So if this lady is really fighting for this, I think everybody should stand behind her, because sometimes the only way to stop stuff is to just purge it completely. And when it comes to people like that like to mess with kids, that is the ultimate way you're going to handle that. Because All they're gonna do is go inside and befriend another one and come right back and do the same thing. So yeah, that I just had to throw that in there because I think if somebody is really trying to go down that path, that should have support because it's too prevalent all over this world. Did you guys see that movie yet? Song of Freedom. Y'all need to check it out. I seen it on Netflix. It's free now. It had came out last Christmas, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before. And the real life story of an FBI agent's fight for the stopping of children trafficking. It's fucking sad movie, but you learn a lot from that shit. You learn a lot. And it needs to stop. This shit needs to stop. Kids need to be free to be children. Grown-ups, adults, they got their time. They had their time. Don't take away a child's time. It's not right. And I think I'm done, y'all. I think I'm spent. I'm gonna run over to Aldi's, get me some stuff, come back. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do tomorrow. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King. I do something. I don't know. Black holidays, I try to like do a little bit more reading, learn some stuff about Black people I don't know about. I'll do something like that. Hold on. I get angry enough reading about the side of it. Yeah. I don't like talking about it because it's like I don't know no way to stop any of that shit. Or to like really get people to like really get involved in it because, you know, they got their own tribunal stuff. And then America just don't be giving a fuck, you know? And then it's complicated because, as you know, I still have relatives on different reservations, but I don't see them no more because my grandmother passed away. But there's a lot of them that's just as prejudiced towards Black people too. So it's like, of course, whenever I see something happen to a little child, I'm so fucking angry, right? And I want to do something immediate, but I don't know. It's just like, I feel bad, but then I stand back because what can I do? I mean, even if you make people aware, it's all this legal shit that's in between it too, because there's literally treaties in this country that give them their own rights. And it's like, even though you have the American government, with Native children, there's different laws that affect them in this country that don't affect us. And they can't be like intermingled with us the way that we would want them to. Like, their foster children cannot be in our in our system. They have to be in their own system. It's a whole lot of stuff. And it's because of the treaties and because of all the foul shit that the European people did when they came here to this country. And this is all a result of that. Now, let me see what she's saying. She said, I'm taking a course. Taking a course. Okay. I thought you was indigenous because you were talking about them. Supposed to be a model of decolonization to process the information into the class. Okay. Interesting. Let me know the stuff you find out. Maybe I might want to know something about it. But with them it's a little complicated for me personally. Because I think about things that they've done to Black people too. And even though I don't want nothing to happen to women and girls from anywhere, right? I kind of like feel like not my fight to a certain extent, because y'all know, right, that Cherokees, right? Cherokees, Choctaw, Cheyenne, is it Arawak? Did they do anything? No, it was the Navajo. There's like 4 tribes, right? because it's 7 sovereign tribes or nations, 7 sovereign nations in all of America, right? That make up all the different tribes. So those 4 I called, they all used to own slaves. And they all had black people that was part of their tribe that they didn't recognize as part of their tribe. And Essence magazine a couple of years back, maybe like 5 years back, did a whole coverage on the American Native treaties where black people were left out of the money that was given to those tribes, right? So even when you are a black Indian and you're literally a descendant from chattel slavery, because that is how those particular people became part of those nations, because those Indian people were slave owners, right? Even when the government has to make right for the wrongs they did against them, the black people still got the short end of the stick. And it's because I know stuff like that. And because I think about like my grandmother's people, the ones that came from that were brought down into the South and pulled into slavery with the Africans. A lot of them, the way that they did shit to the black people and how they did their own children. I'm not feeling it like that. Like it's very, like I said, it's complicated for me because while I may not be directly, dealing with people that are extended family on a reservation, it's like just knowing that the history of them fucking over us too is something that I can't get past. I can't get past that shit. I can't. I really can't. I can't. I just can't get past it. So I try not to I'll watch certain things, I'll read certain things, right? But then I just kind of dismiss it because all that historical shit floods my head. And even to this day, they're still fucking very racist towards us like white people. And I don't like that. So I try not to, I don't idolize them at all. Not at all. I don't idolize them at all. In a way, I look at them as white people too, because they act like white people a lot. You'd be fucking surprised. See that they've been wiped out, but I had to shut my mouth and just listen. Sorry. They ain't been that wiped out. They still here. They still here. They have, if you colonize, yes. When you do your course and stuff, when you learn more about their history, you're going to learn a lot of shocking shit. And you're going to learn that a lot of those real Indians look like you and me. And they're not those $5 Indians that people see today that they think are the original Indians that been here since way, way, way back when. Because people forget that America has a deeper history than white folks, right? If you read this book, They Came Before Columbus, right? It talks about all the African people that were here in America before any of those foreigners came. Even the Vikings, right? Even them, because they were here too. Excuse me, y'all. I couldn't keep holding that. But you're going to learn how the reason they look the way they look today is because they were more white than what they actually started out being. You're going to learn that when you start really, really getting into their history. And then you will begin to understand why they do a lot of the shit they do today and why they have a lot of anti-blackness in them. If you go to, I know here in New York City, right? If you go to the Museum of Natural History or the Native American Museum, you're going to see those people from the past look very different from the ones that are here today. You're going to see that. You're going to see that. Very different. Very, very different. She said those people fake tribes signed treaties, yeah, which the settlers went against. They sure did. They went against every treaty they ever had. Yeah, they were very Europeanized. That's why I said $5 Indian. Because when you look it up and you see that when they first came here, I'm just gonna be I'm trying to like tiptoe around it, but I'll just be blunt. When they first came here, Indian people look like me. American Indians look like black people with long curly hair or long dreaded hair, right? They was running around with animal skins, feathers, and shit in their hair, but they look just like me and just like you. And there's pictures of them all over the Smithsonian Institute and every museum here and the National Library archives of the American history, right? They were not pale skinned. They were not slick haired and all that shit. They only started to look like, I'm coming, Kiana. They only started to look like what they look like today because of them being colonized, having children with white people, and white people trying to like literally breed them out. And that's the honest to God truth. And when you actually get a hold of one that actually tells the truth, they will tell you that this is what has happened to them. She said, our government is narcissistic. I just found out the U.S. Embassy in China lying to the Chinese, saying Americans are doing good. They see Americans and Chinese exchanging notes. I was on there shocked. China blew my mind. Oh, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let me circle back around to that. They were working the government as bounty hunters and the slave owners to capture the enslaved. They were. Yes, they were, Autumn. Yes. Yes. And what I had said to you was complicated because I literally had relatives that were bounty hunters for black people and Native people. So, yes, I know how fucked up they can be. I know that firsthand, right? So I don't like to talk about them because there's a lot of like shit in my head from my grandmother's stories and stuff like that. I don't like talking about them people because they did a lot of foul shit to black people and their own people for white people. So let's see. He said Americans are finding out the truth and Chinese is giving up info on Red Note app. Crazy, and now the embassy down there lying, saying America got a household worth of. Let me tell you something. United Nations been on some bullshit ever since they created that shit in the 1940s after World War II. They've been on bullshit since day one. I really think they are a mask to like try to make the country look greater than it is. Now, they will call out some shit from time to time, but they don't never do shit the right way. To me, it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to have to look. Let me write that down. I'm going to look that one up, okay? Let me write that one down. I'm going to look that book up. I like to read a good book. Hold on here. Let me write this down. Becoming Kin. Patty. Rick. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah, because Kiana, when you're talking about the exchange of people and knowing how people live differently over the world. Somebody earlier, I can't remember. I would have to scroll up through the comments. They asked me if I had ever been to Europe or something like that, or I guess asking me if I've ever been out the country. Yeah, I go out of the country all the time. Matter of fact, just this October, I took my grandson who was turning 6, his first time to London and to Paris. Now, let me make it clear. I often go to Europe because it is the mother of America, right? So in my head, I think that it's a better place than America just because it is where white Americans who took this country, let me watch my words, right, are from. So when I go there, I go to like look at their history. Because when I go there, I always go to the museums. I always go to everything to show me history, right? In addition to having a good time and enjoying myself. And I had taken my grandson because there was a specific dinosaur exhibit over there in the museum he wanted to see. So we went. Okay. That was the greatest interactive dinosaur fucking exhibit I've ever seen in my life. Shit scared the fuck out of me, okay? They had that shit moving like it was real. When I turned around that corridor, that dark room, that fucking T-Rex, I was like, oh shit. It was really scary. But they go extra over there. You know, they go hard. But I'm trying to get my point. Hold on one second. She said, we're the original Native Americans, Black people, the red-faced Indians and traders. I'm gonna be quiet on that one. I already spoke about that to a certain extent. So I'm gonna be quiet because some of them are actually watch my channel, and a few of them came at me before about saying certain things. So I don't want to be fighting with them. Like, I don't like the shit they've done, but they not white people all the way or whatever. So I'm just leaving them alone for right now. I don't want to have no comments on them, no smoke with them people. I just don't. I don't. Okay, I just don't. It's cheaper to travel internationally than domestic. Oh, not all the time. No, I would not say that's true. Most times when I travel domestically, I travel cheap. I could jump on and I always go to Louisiana all the time, especially in the summertime. I'll jump on a flight in the morning and stay to Louisiana until the last flight leaving from Louisiana back to New York is 7 p.m. I got that shit down like a schedule because I always fly Delta, right? Sometimes if I get Google to track a ticket for me from New York to Louisiana, and I set the price range to like less than $150, I have flown to Louisiana for $75, $125, $100 when they have $49 specials. You set the tracker on Google Travel or Google Tickets, anywhere you want. And Google is, it's an algorithm. It will check those fucking tickets every day until it gets in the range you're looking for or very close to it. It'll send you an email and go, here's the ticket, here's the window. That's how I travel. So when I went to go to London in October, I had set the tracking from last August, right? To November. So August 1st, because I know, like when you travel to Europe in the very end of the summer to the very beginning of spring, is cheaper. When you start going into the real winter time, for whatever reason, the tickets is sky high, right? $3,000 one way, $4,000 another way. I'm not paying that kind of money. So yeah, try it that way, Letitia. So and you'll find Google will track those tickets better than any of them other search engines. And they let you edit it as you go along. You're gonna love it. Because Google has a whole different section where you could travel, you could look for certain airlines. Like me, I only do Delta. And so when I fly Delta, if I fly out the country, I have to also have Google look for the sister or affiliate airlines with Delta so I could get back. So when I went to London in October, I had to look at British Airways, right? So I told Google, Delta, British Airways, Air France. Another thing for y'all to know, right? Just so you know this, right? Let me tell y'all this app on my phone. Hold on. Because when you're in Europe, they have jets. They have jets you could take from country to country. That's like an hour and a half in the air. That's how I went from London to Paris. But let me find it. Hold on, let me tell you. This is useful because the thing I noticed over there is they like to try to play Americans, right? We missed our flight and they tried to charge us like the highest fucking ticket just to go from London to Paris. London to Paris in the air is not even a whole hour, okay? So they have individual jet airlines that will fly you from place to place, less money, faster time, because it's a fucking jet, right? So hold on, let me tell you what the name of this app is. Because I was in the airport looking on the computer and found it. All right, so if you ever in Europe, this is called Jet Easy. It's an app, right? Let me show you what it looks like. Hold on. Can y'all see that shit? I don't think you can see it. Anyway, hold up. How can I? Let me go get it. Let me go to the app store and see if I can find it. So, Jet. Oh, let me see. Yeah, Jet Easy. All right, EasyJet. Jet Easy. Wait, is that it? Yeah, EasyJet. All right, yeah, this is it. Hold on, let me show it to y'all. It's an E inside of an orange background. All right, let me show y'all. Hold on. I never knew this shit existed till I found it in the airport. All right, this is it. Hold on, let me get rid of this shit. No, I don't want no fucking cookies. So, can y'all see this? Yeah, you can see it. So, when you go in the app store, you see this thing right here, Jet Easy. It's a huge E. Can you see it on this shit? If I put it up, you ain't gonna see it anyway. All right, so it's an orange block in the app, and it has a lowercase e in it for this website. When you're there, you see here how it says up to euro 400 euro off package holidays. When you're in Europe, you can fly anywhere cheaper with this particular app. You book it, you go to your gate, and it's not gonna be no fancy plane. It's a little rickety, nasty looking jet, no wheels, no what do you call it? No bells, no whistles, right? A fucking seat, a plane, a crew, no snacks, none of that shit. You in the air, 45 minutes to an hour, Paris, London, Germany, whatever. This shit gets you there. Just like that. Italy, just like that. You could take the bus too when you're in Europe, but the bus is like 18 hours, 22 hours. If you got time like that on your trip, take the bus. The bus is like less than $100 to go from UK to France, or from France. Let me get my shit right in my head because I never remember exactly how those countries line up. Is UK, Paris, Italy. It's a few of them. You say just downloaded it. Good. I'm good, Letitia. Don't forget about the Google, okay? Look into the Google as well. Google Travel, Google Tickets, and Google Flights. It'll do all that shit for you. It'll show you. It'll tell you everything. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So when somebody had asked me had I gone there, yeah, I go there all the time, and I always go to the Caribbean all the time. Like Jamaica's my favorite spot, right? So, and I go to the French-speaking islands because I can speak American Creole, which is broken French, right? So I go to places like that, places like that as well. But most places when I go to London, I go to Paris. I have to get to Italy because I'm right. When you're in Paris, Italy is not that far away. You could take a fucking boat if you wanted to, but you got to have money for that. I take the plane because the plane is cheaper. Boats cost money. Expensive plane flights cost money, but buses are cheap. and a jet is cheap. Period. So do that, and you good. I have never been to the Asian countries yet, but I'm going. Like, I have to wait for Trump to get out of office, because y'all know, you heard me talking about it from last year. I'm going to Tokyo because, first of all, I love Japan, right? I love Japanese culture. I know, China was showing me some beautiful shit. I might want to go to China too. But before I do all that, I've definitely got to go to Tokyo, because my son, he goes to Tokyo all the time because he actually has a friend at his job where one of their parents live in Tokyo and the other parent live in America. And then my brother moved to Japan with his Chinese wife. So that's my deadbeat brother I told y'all about, who has a half Korean son and 2 half Chinese daughters. They now live in Japan. He shows me Japan. Japan is fucking beautiful, even prettier and nicer than fucking China. All right. I didn't know anything about China until Zhao Hung Shu. How you say it? The Red Book. How you say it? Zhao Hung Shu, right? I didn't know shit about China till that. Okay. Tokyo, I knew because of my brother and my son, but I have never been there yet, but I'm going. Reason I say I'm going to wait till after Trump is out the office, because please don't forget Black women. He stranded tons of Americans in foreign countries for more than a year in his last term. You cannot afford to do that to yourself. You will lose everything here in America while you're struggling somewhere else to get back home. Also know that, let me go to this other website for y'all. The traveling laws changed in January. I think it was January 7th or 8th. You can no longer fly from America to foreign countries without a visa. They stopped. They don't do that shit no more with us. Because when I went to London in October, all I needed was my passport. Now you need a visa too. So for everybody, they're not giving Americans no more exemptions. Let me go to this website so y'all can see it. Travel. This is where you go to learn everything. I think it's right here, another dot. All right, hold on, I'm getting it. Hold on, y'all. Here it is, the state government travel website. Yeah, it's loading. It's travel.state.gov. All right, hold on. All right, let me show y'all this. Okay. This is going to help you, Letitia, all right, and anybody else looking to travel. But Letitia, be careful with this dude in office, because you don't want to get stuck in another part of the world. You really don't. So, I didn't even click on it. Sorry, y'all. Travel. All right, this is the website, y'all. So this website is for Americans. This is for America. You want to be an expat. You want to travel to another country. You want to know what the terrorism level is. You want to know what America says or advises for its citizens. This is where you go every time. I don't care what nobody tells you on this fucking YouTube. Those people that live in other countries, don't listen to shit they say. Anything you want to know about this government, living abroad, going abroad, taxes, visas, you go. This is the governmental website for all that information right here. Don't go nowhere else. Travel.state.gov. Okay? When you go here, they tell you how to get a passport, how to find international travel information, how to get U.S. visas. You see that? U.S. citizen travelers, U.S. citizens in an emergency, learn about adopting a child to and from the U.S., protect the child for parental adoption to or from the U.S., replace life event documents issued by the U.S. Department of State, certify your documents for your use overseas. They even have an app that goes along with the Homeland Security, where when you come on here, you set up an account, you have to tell America. I do this all the time, y'all. Right up here, it's called My Travel Gov. You fill out this account, right? You're gonna tell America where you going, where you gonna be staying. You put your passport information in here, your cell phone, and your picture ID, right? Even though they have that from your passport. That's so that if any shit kicks off in another country and you're there, the American government has a list of its citizens abroad. They're going to notify the embassy. The embassy is going to start sending you emails. This happened to me only one time in France because of they had like civil unrest and they started like fighting with the government and they was like burning up shit and all this crazy stuff. Scared the fuck out of me. I got on a plane and got the fuck out of there. No problem. But this My Travel, right? There's a little app. They started blowing up my cell phone. And they was like, there is unrest. America advises all Americans to take the next plane out. Go to this country, go to that country, come back to America. I did what they said. I came right the fuck back home. I didn't give a fuck. I came back home. I called American Express. I sent American Express a copy of the warning off of the travel.state.gov website to get back my money for the rest of my trip that I have forfeited. No problem. This is a very important website to have. And when you go up there to the top, let me go back on it. You go up to the top to My Travel Gov. Let me open it up for y'all. You're going to fill this shit out. Make an account. Let me play the video. And it's going to tell y'all what they do for you. They do watch you overseas. They follow you.
My Travel Gov provides a modernized platform where you can submit and check on requests to the Bureau of Consular Affairs, like a consular report of birth abroad or renewal of your U.S. passport. You need an account to use it. Here's how to set one up. Go to travel.state.gov, select My Travel Gov, then select Click Here for your My Travel Gov account login. You will see the login.gov page. You will then select Sign In. Login.gov is a secure way to access many government services with one account and password. If you have a Login.gov account already, great. Use it to log into My Travel Gov. If not, select Create an Account. Provide your email address. Use one that you check often and that won't change, such as a personal email address, not an account from your work or school. We will send important account-related emails to this address. You can choose to receive the emails from Login.gov in English, Spanish, or French. Read and agree to the rules of Login.gov. Then you will click Submit. Now check your email for a message from Login.gov. It may take a few minutes for the message to arrive. Then open the email and select Confirm Email Address. This link will take you back to Login.gov to create your strong password. Select Continue. Choose 2 ways to prove it's you when you sign in. This is called multi-factor authentication. You can use an app like Google Authenticator, get a code on your phone, use backup codes, or use a security key. Pick 2 options and select Continue. Then follow the steps to finish setting up your choices. After you make your Login.gov account, you will return to the My Travel Gov homepage and log back in. You will then see a welcome message. Next, find and select Complete Personal Information. You will then read and acknowledge the policy review. Fill in your profile and tell us the best way to contact you about your application. Click Save and select Home. This will take you back to the My Travel Gov homepage. From there, you can choose the service you need and start your application with us. If you need help or have problems with setting up your account, you can send the Login.gov team a message. They are available 24 hours a day. Many questions can be answered by visiting the frequently asked questions page. That's it. You have now created your MyTravelGov account, and you can use it to request online services from us.
All right, y'all. So that helps you when you're traveling, right? Let me go back to it. I want to see one thing. Get out of that. I want to go back to the travel site. What happened to it? Oh, here it goes. Can y'all see this? No, I got to go back and get it. Hold on. I want to see if it talks about the visas. Give me 1 minute. Because if you're going to go anywhere, Letitia, you need to know this. You need to, right here, Letitia, see? Get the U.S. visa. Let's see what it was talking about. All right, so this shit is new. This just happened in 2025. This was not here before. You know, like for short-term stays, long-term stays, yeah, but not, this is new. So anyway, let's see what they talking about. I'm just skimming it, but I want to see something. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Hold up. It say no, U.S. citizens don't need a U.S. visa for travel, but when planning travel abroad, may need a visa issued by the country they wish to visit. When planning travel abroad, learn about visa requirements. Okay, I read it wrong. They talking about, what person don't know you don't need a visa to travel within your country? That's crazy as hell. But Letitia, this for you. So you want to travel? This is when you coming home. Travel to the United States. That don't apply to you because you're a citizen. Then they got over here the forms and fees, rights and protections of temporary workers, fraud protection. Look at all this stuff here. All right. I want to go back to the what is that? Is that the new visa thing? Sustain? No, that's for the foreigners. All right, let's click on this thing. So okay, let's see. Learn with the let's just pick any old shit that let me see. I want to go to London. Let me see. Let me tell y'all, I really like London, y'all. I like it better than America. And I love it way better than France. France is full of a bunch of assholes. They got a problem with Americans. They always talking shit. I always fight with those people every time I go there. I can't stand them. But because I was traveling with my daughter-in-law, she had never been there. I went back there and I was like, oh my God, this place. And though France is cheaper than London though, and cheaper than America. So if you wanted to live there, you go live in that shithole. Oh God, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, some French people might come for me. Sorry, excuse me. All right, so how does this shit work? I gotta come on this thing and check it out. So sign up for the Smart Traveler. This is the thing I was telling you about, Letitia. This is where I had signed up for this, and they follow you, right? So when you enroll in this, it's called a step. I forgot what it was called. All right. This here benefits, you get real-time updates about health, weather, safety, and security in the country. Plan ahead using information from the local U.S. Embassy. Help the embassy or consulate contact you if an emergency like a natural disaster, civil unrest, or a family emergency, right? They follow you. So you give them your information and they basically, they'll let you know if you need to get back to America. And if it's a hostile situation, they send people to get you out, like buses and whatever, or they tell you go to certain location. There's going to be a train or bus or a plane. Yeah, that only happened to me one time. Only one time. See right here, how to prepare for a crisis abroad, view all travel. This is this is what I was talking about. When you come here, right? This will show you wherever you go to travel, it's going to tell you the level that is at in the world, level of security, right? The travel advisory levels from 1 to 4. 4 is do not go, don't fucking enter, right? 1 is always the best. 1 and 2. 3 and 4, do not take your ass there. So over here is the countries, the levels, and the dates. What were these dates for? The dates was updated. Let me see. Where's where I went? Let's see. What's going on with it? Let me type it in. Let me see. Even though it's not London, it's called UK. And I keep typing London. I be bugging out all the time. I like London. I would not mind living there. Even though all the black people that was there, they told me, you don't want to live here. Why didn't it work? Did I do something wrong? All right, let's see. Let me put UK. Let's see. No. United. Let me type it. Shit. There we go. I was doing this the wrong way. All right, so here. It's at a level 2, so it's safe to go there, right? You when you sign up for the step, your embassy alerts will be right here. And they're going to also tell you all this other stuff. And then when you scroll down, it'll tell you about everything, the quick facts about the country. Passport, vaccines. Sometimes in certain countries, you need a certain number of pages available in your passport. Otherwise, they don't let you in. All that shit is good to know, okay? Because you would not want to fly all the way somewhere and they'd be like, sorry, can't come in. Let's see. You gotta have for UK, you gotta have at least 1 empty page in your passport to get in the country. All right, so must be valid for the duration of your stay. But where's the stuff about those visas? Because those visa things are new. What? After reading about wish I was safe abroad. Yes, I do. I do think so. Yes. Am I done? Come on, I don't want to fill out no damn survey. Get out of here, man. All right, so let me see. Where is this visa shit at? I know it's new. Where is it? All right, I gotta come back and figure all this stuff out before I start talking to y'all about it. But this is where you go, Letitia. And over here, Letitia, give you the embassy numbers when you're in the country for help for the U.S. Embassy, but they don't fucking do shit. I tried to call them when I was in Paris. They never picked up the goddamn phone, okay? Oh, U.S. visas. Here we go. Why y'all ain't telling me? I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm playing. All right, so what is a U.S. visa? Okay, we know that. Type of visa categories. Yeah, you gotta spend some time on this shit. I ain't about to do that right now. Let me get back to y'all. All right, I'm about to read about that stuff later, not now. But that's the website, y'all. travel.state.gov. So whenever you want to leave America, you coming back to America, you want to be an expat, listen to other people if you want to, but go on here and get it straight from the horse's mouth, because this will tell you everything for this country and the next country. And then you go on that country's website and you look around for everything you need to know, because every country has their own website to tell you about whatever it is they need you to know. Okay, so I am her say, I got to get back to work. Thank you for the live, Stephanie. Enjoy. All right, you too. Enjoy. All right. I'm about to head up to Aldi's, y'all. So I'm going to stop with this. But I'm going to put those websites underneath this video, okay? So I'm back on YouTube. So I will see y'all more often than not, okay? And I'm going to try to streamline my lives to be a little better, because we be on these lives forever and a fucking day. All right. So, but, all right, y'all. I missed y'all. I'll see y'all again soon. Good night to all my women. I am her, Letitia Lovejoy, my Kiana. Who else? Autumn Blue Rose. Kiana again, and I think it's always my same women that always talk to me. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, let's talk about it. Sorry, let's talk about it. I'm sorry. And that was it. Naya, leave me alone. I'm coming. That's it. All right, y'all. Good night, Black women. I'll see y'all again soon, okay? Have a good night.